30 seconds and counting.
There were plenty of years where there were guys who would dread being drafted by the Buffalo Bills. Not anymore.
Astronauts report it feels good. T-minus 25 seconds.
Brandon Beane realizes they're in a window of 2 to 3 years max to get this done while the iron's still hot. And getting Von Miller into that situation was big for the Bills.
10, 9.
Oh, baby.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Great interview, guys.
What is up, Buffalo Fanatics? Z-Bot here with you, live on the Buffalo Fanatics YouTube channel on a Victory Monday night. And that, of course, can only mean one thing. It is the smoke break powered by BetUS. Welcome in, folks, on a Victory Monday evening, election eve, and smack dab in the middle of Monday Night Football featuring our arch nemesis, the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to dive into it all tonight. Strap in. We could be here a while. We're going to put on a Chiefs watch party because you want to know why? The Bills are at 2. The Chiefs are at 1. Let's do a little self-scouting this evening as Travis Kelce goes up, grabs it, and the Chiefs are already in enemy territory less than 2 minutes in. You got to love it. But you got to remember, we're shifting gears here. Bills, after their W yesterday, they're 7-2. These Chiefs are 7-0. The Bills get it done against the Colts next week, and if you watched them last night, I don't see any reason why they shouldn't. It's setting up a matchup in Buffalo in Week 11 that could very much have the first seed in the AFC on the line. I don't think the Chiefs lose one game all year this year or go undefeated. I mean, unless you think that, then it won't be the case in Week 11. But if history tells us the Chiefs will lose at least a couple of games, and if the Bills host, or if the Bills are able to get it done against the Colts this upcoming weekend, if the Bucs beat the Chiefs tonight, or if the Chiefs lose, to the Bills and then they lose another game down the line, what have you, sets up a crazy game in Buffalo in Week 11 where there's a lot more on the line than maybe we would have first anticipated when that game was first announced. So we're going to watch the game tonight. We're going to talk about what we saw yesterday. Obviously talk about the Bills game itself, but talk about that Colts game too. That's the Bills' next opponent. And my God, the Indianapolis Colts, they looked abysmal last night. Horrendous. You would have thought that the benching of Anthony Richardson would have meant this team would have been better because of it. That's the reason why they did it. They didn't just bench Anthony Richardson for the weekend. They benched Anthony Richardson for the remaining schedule here, the rest of the year. And that was because they had felt that they were in a position right now where they can win, make the playoffs, and go on a run. You don't do that to your potential franchise quarterback of the future. You don't do that unless you think right now you're in a position to win and then hopefully get the most out of him later on. So they move on from Anthony Richardson, at least for now. They start the 40-year-old or soon-to-be 40-year-old Joe Flacco. He's awful last night. That Colts team was abysmal last night. They scored 13 total points, 7 of which came off of a fumble as Taylor Swift takes the screen. There she is, T. Swift in attendance, sitting next to Mama Kelce. And Kelce, by the way, already dominating on this drive. Cracking open a cider tonight, folks. Lock in. It's election eve. Tomorrow, people are going to be going nuts one way or the other. So strap in, relax, and enjoy yourself. As there it is. Xavier Worthy. A dime down to the 1-yard line. They're saying no touchdown. That looked like a touchdown to me. Let's see the replay. You know what? I don't know how telling this will be. Oh, he was out. You know what? Keon Coleman makes that catch all day, folks. Keon Coleman reels that one in 100 out of 100 times. Speaking of which, why don't we start there? Actually, before we do, let's head over to BetUS. I want to talk about what I want to stay on that thought I just had about those Indianapolis Colts. Right now over on BetUS, the Bills, the line is up for week 10 right now. The Bills open up on BetUS as a 4-point favorite against those Colts. I don't know about you guys. If you watched those Colts last night and you watched those Bills yesterday, on what planet are those Bills only a 4-point team or only 4 points better than the Indianapolis Colts? On what planet? Now, it's not going to be apples to apples because the Vikings have one of the better run defenses in the league. You know how I feel about the Bills' run D. You know what the Bills' run D currently is. You saw it yesterday. You don't need me to tell you anything. You wouldn't even have to look at the numbers to know right now the Bills' run defense, it's got room for improvement. So it's not going to be apples to apples, but this Bills team as it stands is a 4-point. They're 4 points better than the Indianapolis Colts. That's how I see it. Right now, that's the line. Now, it is in Indianapolis. It is at Lucas Oil, so it's indoor. But I don't know. I look at this. This is the first time seeing the line. That's why I wanted to stick with my thought there and go take a look. This is the first time seeing the line. You let me know in the comments your thoughts, but I'm loving the Bills. -4. If you're feeling the same right now over on BetUS, the promo code's YouTube150. That'll get you 150% sign-up bonus up to $2,000 on your first deposit and 125% bonus on your next 2 deposits after that as Vita Vea sacks Patrick Mahomes on 3rd down. That might take them out of Harrison Butker field goal range. So it looked like the Chiefs were motoring down the field, which they were. Oh, now it's 4th and 18. What's the move here? What's the move? Yep, they're punting. Huge defensive play by the Tampa Bay Bucs right there. Huge. Now, I also figured, hey, why not witness history tonight? Why not watch this game together? Because the very off chance, but the chance nonetheless, folks, the chance nonetheless, if the Bucs somehow pull off the inevitable tonight, or the non-inevitable tonight, and beat the Chiefs, how insane this thing start getting. Because then you go into next week. As I just showed you on BetUS, Bills 4-point favorite on the road against Indy. Say they win. Chiefs play the Broncos. Say they win. Sets up the battle for the 1 seed in week 11 in Orchard Park before the Bills go into the bye. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Where was I? Oh, I wanted to talk about the man who I said would make that catch that would have flipped that drive around for the Chiefs right there. So Xavier Worthy catches it right in front of the goal line. His foot's out of bounds. Doesn't count. Chiefs get sacked next play. And they have to punt. All right, let's talk about Keon Coleman. So obviously yesterday, huge W for the Bills, improved to 7-2. But it always feels like with every victory, it's not truly a major W. The weekend isn't a full W unless you get out of there healthy, obviously. And yesterday, the Bills leave that game with Keon Coleman getting nailed by Jordan Poyer on, and hey, Rico, if you're watching, on what was a unnecessary hit. Rico is convinced that Jordan Poyer hit Keon Coleman with his shoulder. I do not know what's going on. In fact, my man Walt said he was going to start the GoFundMe to get an eye check from my man Rico. But regardless, on that hit, you could see Keon Coleman's wrist was trapped between the helmet of Poyer and his own helmet. He gets hit. He comes off to the sideline. He's shaking it out. He's getting looked at. And from there, ThighDoc had kind of reported that he had felt that something could be up with that wrist, and I think most people were starting to get that vibe as well. So today, Sean McDermott is asked about it, and as of right now, Bills rookie Keon Coleman will have further tests tomorrow. So he got tests done today, and from what I can tell, it needs to be further evaluated. Let's go over to what Alex Brasky said on Twitter. Great follow, by the way, Alex Brasky, and he's saying that the hand and wrist area is under evaluation for Keon Coleman per Sean McDermott. McDermott further elaborated, saying he can't say if it is a short-term or long-term injury for Keon Coleman. He's just holding out hope. That's the quote from Sean McDermott via Alex Brasky. Now, the way I read that, when you're saying you're holding out hope, I don't want to make something out of nothing here. But clearly, as we sit here right now, late Monday night going into Tuesday, it's not nothing. Because if it was nothing, it would have been said as such today. When coach is saying holding out hope Monday afternoon after the game, that tells me that there's got to be some sign of concern there. Now, what the duration of the injury could be, how long it'll sideline him for, I have no idea. But if I'm hearing holding out hope, that to me means there's a reason you got to be holding out hope, right? I mean, so the way I look at it, this has to be more significant than maybe we thought at first. I'm heading over to Thydoc's page right now. So Thydoc said it's kind of up in the air. It could be anywhere from like 1 to 2 weeks to a season. That's the way that these things are. Now, I'm hoping it's not. If you're looking at the situation the Bills are currently in, you got the Colts, you got the Chiefs, you got the bye. I'm hoping at the very worst, he misses the 2 upcoming games, which would hurt. I mean, it would certainly hurt, especially against the Chiefs defense. Chiefs defense, I think, is playing some of the best in the league. So it would certainly hurt. You saw yesterday what it looks like without one weapon out there. Without Amari Cooper yesterday, every single weapon for the Bills offense, their numbers diminished. I think if Keon Coleman goes out, those numbers will stay similar to what they were yesterday compared to what they were against the Titans or the Seahawks. But if you can get him into the bye and then he'll have essentially 4 weeks to heal that up, then you take on San Francisco out of the bye. Hopefully that's worst case scenario. I'm really hoping it's nothing long term here. But we know, Baker almost just threw a pick. Totally should have been picked off. I'm hoping it's nothing crazy. But with the wrist, obviously, as a receiver, you got to have it. You got to have it almost in perfect shape or it's just not going to be the same. So that's the latest right now. I think he's getting an MRI tomorrow. Now, folks, it could come back negative. The MRI could come back negative tomorrow, and it could be nothing. But that's the thing. Right now, when I'm hearing holding out hope, yeah, it could be nothing, but it's giving me the vibe that there's got to be a reason why you're holding out hope. Here's the play again. Let's go ahead and take another look. Dan Feets, courtesy of him on Twitter, he has the clip up. So here's the look again. And my God, this was such a brutal hit. I don't know how. If that hit happens on Saturday, if that hit happens in college, Poyer's day is done. But we'll slow this down. So he gets nailed right there. And you can see his wrist. So he's going in for the catch. Almost had it, too. He's going in for the catch. Poyer launches, man. Brutal hit. And as you can see right there, Coleman's wrist is caught between his own helmet, Poyer's helmet, and takes the brunt of that hit. I just put in Keon Coleman here on Twitter, see what the vibe is. God, well, watch this in full, at full speed. Great angle from Dan Feets here. Oh, dude, that is brutal. He got right up. Tough SOB is Keon Coleman. But look he goes right to the wrist. Oof, brutal. The fact that he wasn't concussed is incredible. That's what I thought initially was the problem when he walked off, obviously. But watch, it's immediately to that right wrist. Immediately. He comes off. Look at he's favoring it. So, obviously, just immediately banged up on that. And now we wait. So, he did already get it looked at. So, the extent of it might not, as far as the overall severity of it, it might not be all that bad. Because he already had gotten it looked at from what they could tell. based on what they have told us today, wasn't bad enough to announce anything today. But when you are asked, when Sean McDermott's asked, and I understand he can't give a definitive answer because he himself doesn't have one. But when you hear you can't say whether it's long term or short term, I mean, that's obviously a sign of concern. It's just not what you want to hear. But man, these wrists for these Bills right now. You also got Dwayne Smoot, who had to get wrist surgery. And Sean McDermott had said on Dwayne Smoot's injury that doctors don't fully know the extent of what that injury is too. And it won't be known until following surgery. He had said he's hopeful he can return this season. So obviously Smoot's going to be missing some time. And then obviously you had Amari Cooper yesterday. He was out with an injury too. So you got 3 starters for the Bills dealing with some sort of wrist right now. But Smoot's going to the IR. That's inevitable. Smoot's already on the IR. That's already been confirmed. So you're missing at least 4 weeks of Dwayne Smoot out on the field. McDermott said he is hopeful he'll be back for the season at some point. And that's kind of where we've been. Our overall sentiment has kind of been there ever since it felt like the AFC East was going to be locked up. And the Bills took one more major step towards that. In fact, I haven't even looked at the updated odds. But last week, the Bills were minus 40,000, I think, to win the AFC East. Oh, Dunn making a good point, too, as well, that Dwayne Carter had already been put on IR for a wrist injury as well. So, yeah, that's 4. And then, yeah, Benford, I forget, Benford also was dealing with a couple of things, one being a wrist. So, yeah, you can say 5 guys this season with some sort of a wrist situation. Boy, oh boy. Now, we know that Amari Cooper, the extent of Amari Cooper's isn't all that bad because it seemed as though he would be ready to go yesterday. At least many thought that. I didn't think Amari Cooper was going to miss yesterday, but he did. I would be shocked if he wasn't back this week. But right now for the AFC East, let's go ahead and take a peek. I was bugging. It wasn't minus 40,000. I think it was minus 4,000. Now it's minus 10,000. The Bills are minus 10,000 right now to win the AFC East. So on BetUS, you would have to bet $10,000 on the Bills to win $100 on them to win the East. So it's all but locked up. You would have to see one of the biggest collapses in pro football history for the Bills not to win the East. So all of these injuries and the extent of them, yeah, it's worrisome, especially with the 1 seed potentially in play here, depending on what goes on with Kansas City and what goes on with the Bills going down the line here, what goes on with Baltimore, Houston, although Houston's really banged up. And if they play like they played on Thursday night, they're not going to be sniffing that 1 seed. But ultimately, the goal is to be healthy for January. The Bills have that luxury right now. I think that they have the luxury of being able to pick and choose when guys come back, or guys have the ability to take more time to rest up than they would have otherwise. When you no longer have that bye week that's in play for both the 1 and the 2 seed, which has been gone ever since the Bills have become contenders, if you're not necessarily in contention for the 1 seed, and if the Chiefs continue to win here, it's really all going to depend. But the difference between the 1 and the 2 is really the only gigantic difference currently. The Bills would much rather be playing at home, and I'm not saying they're going to just allow guys to not play if they're capable of playing. But at the end of the day, the goal is to have everybody healthy going into the postseason. So if they can get Smoot back healthy, if Coleman's got to miss some time, as long as these guys are good for the playoffs, that's what's going to matter most. But you're just hoping more than anything that they're going to be good. The Coleman thing right now seems to be very, very up in the air. Just seems like nobody has the read. Now, I saw a comment earlier that I agree with. Ariella saying that that a second opinion does sound worse. I feel like oftentimes when you do have to get a second opinion, well, there's a reason for that. The first opinion wasn't the best. But the first opinion I think Coleman got today, I don't think it was overly negative or I don't think it determined one thing or the other. I don't think it shifted either narrative. I think the second opinion is more because I think he needs to get different testing done. I think he got x-rays done immediately yesterday. I think an MRI now is next up for Keon Coleman. Chiefs driving, by the way. Chiefs are already down to the 20. Let's take another look here. What sucks about this the most, I would say, including the Amari Cooper situation yesterday, is this offense was just starting to get their rhythm, right? You signed Amari Cooper a couple of weeks ago. You saw what that did for Shakir, for Coleman. Then Coleman has to miss yesterday. You have Ray Davis lead all receivers with 70 yards, 63 of them coming on one play. The next leading receiver had 50 yards. The games prior to that, you had receivers with 70 plus all over the stat sheet, including 2 100-yard receivers in back-to-back weeks. Harrison Butker, by the way, nails a field goal. Chiefs up 3-0, 2.5 left in the first quarter. But that's the biggest bummer here. The Bills have been lucky offensively. They have really not felt the injury bug offensively, not nearly to the extent in which they felt it defensively. But they're starting to have a couple of guys now deal with things, and these are the guys the last guys on the planet you'd want to be dealing with anything when it comes to the offensive side of the ball. The Bills are already limited in the weaponry department. We already know that. And Keon Coleman, who had felt like his progression, and we've all been enjoying it for the last month or so now. You can see it. The progression of Keon Coleman in this offense has been noticeable. And it's been fun as hell to watch. So as much as I do say, I'm trying to find the silver lining here, obviously. As much as I say, hey, we got to be, healthy for the playoffs, this and that. You don't want Coleman missing extensive time in his rookie year, especially when it started to seem like he was in the middle of really getting, things going. So it sounds like tomorrow, the severity of the injury there will be more details surrounding the severity of the injury. As of right now, though, we do not know. What I will anticipate, though, is I would imagine that Keon Coleman will not be playing against the Colts this upcoming weekend. I feel like that's safe to say. If he does, you won't find someone happier than me. Now, like similar to yesterday, Cooper not being in there yesterday, I didn't think it would affect the Bills' ability to win. It certainly affected the offense. I just felt like they could win without him. I think the Bills can beat the Colts without Coleman. But, it's a game like Kansas City in 2 weeks where that's where you can't confidently say, hey, we're going to be fine going into that game without him. Taking a look at some of your chats here. Cody's saying, you think we get Milano after the bye? I wouldn't. Once again, it's all going to depend on what the Bills are currently fighting for. So say the Bills, say the Chiefs either find a way to lose tonight or next week against the Broncos. Say the Bills get things done against the Colts, and then they beat the Chiefs. And the Bills go to the bye week with a legitimate chance at the 1 seed. Not that they wouldn't have it if the Chiefs, the Bills have to continue to win. I'm not saying they wouldn't have a chance if the Chiefs don't lose, but the Bills would have to beat the Chiefs, in my opinion. The Bills lose to the Chiefs in week 11 and the Chiefs continue to win. The Chiefs at that point would be 9-0. The Bills, if they beat the Colts, would be 8-3. And I think the Chiefs would have at least a 3-game lead on everybody in the AFC, including head-to-heads against the Bills and the Ravens. They would have to go on a major skid that I don't think any of us are anticipating for anybody to to pass them at the top spot in the AFC. So to your question, Cody, do you think we get Milano back after the bye? If everything goes right and the Bills are really vying for the 1 seed, I'd have no problem with McDermott putting him out there as soon as he's ready. But if I had to make the determination, I would say I'd probably keep him as healthy as possible, out of harm's way as long as possible until the playoff. You saw last year, and Milano was just a piece of the puzzle. This whole defense was banged up last year, but you saw last year the difference between having a healthy defensive unit and not. It was all the difference in that Chiefs game. Travis Kelce hadn't done much of anything all year, and then out of nowhere in that Bills game, he just torched Buffalo. And there in the middle of the field was open all game. And the Bills were playing guys off the street defensively. I'd be much more willing to sacrifice a couple of regular season games than I would not having the full knowledge that Milano has been fully rested, fully healthy, and is ready to rock for the postseason. So I wouldn't anticipate it. If I had to put money on it, I'd say we don't see Milano before the postseason, but who knows? Brian coming in with all caps. He's talking about Dalton Kincaid as the Bucs are facing a 3rd down and Baker gets sacked. There is a flag on the field, though. What else is new? Let's see what the flag is. Maybe a defensive holding? How about it? Defensive holding. Keep the drive alive for Baker and the boys. 45 seconds left in the first quarter. Bucs trail 3-0. Brian's asking, is it time to say Dalton Kincaid isn't the guy we thought we were going to get when we drafted him? This is a tough one. Because when I think of Dalton Kincaid, I'm not thinking of the guy that I thought, as of now, I'm not thinking of that elite guy that I was told we were getting when we drafted him. I mean, the things I was hearing about Dalton Kincaid once the Bills picked him were crazy. Was hearing he's going to be one of the next greats. He's going to revolutionize this Bills offense. To me, I don't think they get him involved enough in order to make a determination one way or the other. Now, as it stands, no, it's not been this transformative piece to this offense. But you look at any given week, he never seems to get more than 5-6 targets max. He had 4 catches yesterday against the Dolphins. Against the Seahawks, 4 catches. It's like this. If you go and look, it's like the same stat line just about every week. 6 catches against the Jets. That was one of the better games in the last couple of weeks here. But it goes back to what I was just saying. It seems to be 4 to 6 catches for anywhere between 30 to 50 yards. When I'm watching the game, does it ever seem to you like there's an emphasis on feeding Dalton Kincaid? Because there doesn't seem to be that for me. You notice it with Khalil Shakir in particular. There is an emphasis on getting Khalil Shakir the ball each and every game, and it's been working phenomenally. Right now, one of the best plays in Joe Brady's arsenal is literally just Allen out of the gun, snap, look to the left or right, that immediate little sidearm flick to Shakir, and it's their bread and butter. I mean, it's working routinely, and they run it anywhere from 2, 3, 4 times a game. And even when it looks like it's about to be blown up, he somehow finds a way. That dude is a slippery mother effer. He might be one of the best yak guys in the league right now. One of the best guys at the position in making the first tackler miss. There was a couple times yesterday where Allen gets him the ball right on the line of scrimmage. He catches it, and it looks like it might be a yard or two gain max, and he breaks the first tackle every time. I mean, they were popping off on that play yesterday anywhere from, 5 to 7 yards plus every time. It's one of my favorite plays they got going right now. You see the emphasis on somebody like him. When Cooper was out there, you saw the emphasis on Keon Coleman because it felt like he was getting open more. I never feel like I'm watching a game and it's like, oh, this is going to be the game where Dalton Kincaid takes over. It always just seems to be the same handful of plays where he winds up getting involved on. A little out here, a little intermediate ball there, which is what you want, but there's not enough of it. It hasn't been a concern. It hasn't been a concern because the last few weeks, other guys have been getting involved. But yesterday, I'll say, yesterday felt like a game where that might be where you want Dalton Kincaid to have a bigger game. Cooper's out. You know that's going to take away what they've been able to do with the wide receivers the last couple of weeks. That kind of felt like it would be a Dalton Kincaid type game, and it's just not the case. It's the same thing every week. Now, I don't know if that's on purpose. As of right now, it seems like it has to be because I'm just looking through here. The targets just aren't there. Up until yesterday, actually. Wow, I'm looking at this. I'm glad I looked. So going into yesterday, it felt like the targets weren't there. I did not realize. Wow. Okay. Dalton Kincaid was the most targeted player on the field yesterday. 10 targets for Dalton Kincaid yesterday. Did you guys realize that? Would you have guessed Dalton Kincaid had 10 targets yesterday for 4 catches? Now, I will say, just off the top of my head, there were a couple yesterday where Allen just missed him. If you watched Rico and I yesterday on the post-game show, we were talking about how well Allen played in a variety of big moments yesterday. It felt like when the moment was needed, right? The 4th down for a touchdown, the 2-point conversion, that beautiful run he had for the first down earlier in the ball game. He balled out when it mattered most. There were a few throws from Allen yesterday that were terrible. And speaking of risks, I think that Allen was dealing with something yesterday. He got nailed earlier in the game. It felt like he got hit on the wrist, and it seemed like it was noticeable throughout the rest of the game. He was skipping balls off the ground like you would a rock off water. And I had thought the accuracy for Allen yesterday was a bit off. I mean, Allen was only 25 of 39 yesterday. That's 64%. Tua was on the other end of damn near 90%. Now, they were running a different style of game. Tua, all he did all game long was dump the ball off to Achane. Achane had a third of their catches yesterday for the Dolphins. But Allen was not at his best yesterday when it came to accuracy. And I know for a fact, off the top of my head, a couple of the worst throws he had on the day were targeted to Dalton Kincaid. Now, with that said, I did not know he had 10 targets. I'm going to pull him up. I can actually, over on NFL Pro, I can pull up all of Kincaid's targets. Let's go take a look. Let me get this set up real quick. Because I don't know. I mean, I know there were a couple of bad balls, but would not have guessed 10 targets. So Mike's saying, and we're going to take a look, and we're going to see what we saw with these targets to Kincaid. Mike Hartle's saying Josh underthrew 9 of the 10 targets to Kincaid, including the last one, which would have been a touchdown. That does not surprise me if that's the case, because, as I said, it really did feel like the majority of Allen's bad balls on the game were going towards Kincaid. All right, so I got it up here. Let's take a peek. I love this. I love this software, by the way, this new NFL Pro. If you're not using it, it's great. I mean, it's got everything. It's got all of this different stuff you can use, like all these different stats and these insights. Okay, whenever I give you like one of those stats, where it's like, oh, Shakir, or yesterday I had one. It was on the postgame show where it was like the Bills allowed 149, I believe, of their, or 139 of the 150 rush yards they allowed yesterday were after first contact. It was kind of to back up the point. The tackling was real bad yesterday, as you could notice just watching the game. But it's got stats like that. It's awesome. I've been loving this. And right on this software, you can just type in Kincaid and then targets, and it'll bring up all of the plays. By the way, the Bucs are on the 20-yard line of the Chiefs, 11:38 and ticking. They're down 3-0. 3rd and 9. Looks like a field goal could be coming up. They could tie the game. All right, so let's go in order here. We'll look at all the targets. This was early in the first quarter here. Allen to Kincaid. Now, this is before I thought anything had happened to Allen's wrist, but let's take a peek. I don't even know what that was. That's just blatant miscommunication. That might have been on Kincaid. I don't know. But if you watch, this is the end zone angle. So Kincaid's right here. Allen takes the snap. Now, Kincaid's wide open. But, duh. Allen's in the middle of getting his head knocked off. So Kincaid hadn't even ran the full route yet. Allen was under pressure. That's why that didn't work. But that's one of the targets gone awry. But if you look at the sideline angle, if Allen doesn't get under pressure almost instantaneously. Oh, by the way, Bucs, 1st and goal, folks. 1st and goal. I don't know what the hell just happened there. Watching that ball get airmailed there by J.A. Rush, touchdown Bucs. Touchdown Tampa Bay. Rashad White, 7 yards out, runs it in. Todd Bowles is clapping. Z-Bot's clapping. All of Bills Mafia clapping. 6-3 Bucs. Beautiful run off the left side. We'll put more attention into this game in a bit. We're going to obviously keep talking Bills Dolphins here. All right, so this was one of the targets here. Allen was under pressure. And that happens, but that's not on Kincaid there. He's wide open. He can't even fully develop the route before Allen's on the ground. So this was completed to Allen. We're going to take a look at the incompletions only because there were 10 targets, but only 4 receptions. Okay, so this one is late second quarter. All right, so once again, Allen under a lot of pressure here, which this, I don't know what it looks like this was designed to be a screen. Yeah, definitely. You have the entire O-line on the right side run down the field instantly. This was meant to be immediately put out. I don't know if it was meant to go to Cook. He's still in pass protection. I guess this was meant to go to Kincaid based on the fact that the entire right side of the line bails out immediately. It just got blown up way too quick. But anyway, this is 2 incompletions now where Kincaid is wide open and Allen's under too much pressure to make the play. And this is one of those ones that came to mind here where Allen does get the ball off to him, but look, that's not catchable. I saw someone in here mention earlier, they said, oh, Kincaid can only catch perfect balls. No. But there's a difference between catching, like a mediocre ball and this. This ball's a foot and a half in front of him. But I don't know what kind of help Allen got there. James Cook, that wasn't the greatest pass protection I've ever seen. And even if Cook picks up this guy, it really doesn't matter much. Allen's kind of under fire here regardless. So that play just got blown up. That's 2 targets to Kincaid where they just got blown up. Let's go late second quarter here. Looks like it's the same drive. So Kincaid was in motion. He's right here. And once again, now this is one where he should probably catch it. That's a bad ball. Once again, he's wide open. This is 3 targets where he's wide open, and the way the play went down just did not favor his ability to catch the football. But I don't know there's no excuse for Allen on this one. He's got the clean pocket, and Allen kind of sidearms it. If I full screen this, let me see if this still pops up. No, it always does this. It always does the exit full screen thing, so I can't do the full. But watching this back here, so Allen's got the time. Kincaid's wide open. And Allen kind of he just kind of like short arms this. And it's on the ground. Now, that's one you can make the argument maybe Kincaid should have had it, but still, that's a bad ball. So that's 3 of the 6 targets gone awry there. Here's another one. This one comes mid-4th quarter. Yeah, and this one just kind of felt like a throwaway. I mean, that's perfectly covered. That's just perfect defense. Allen had time, but if you look around your screen here, nobody's open. Nobody's open. If Allen extends the play, if he rolls right, might get sacked here on the edge. Doesn't have anything up the middle. There's nothing open. That would have had to have been the play of the day for that to go down as a touchdown. That felt like a throwaway. Kincaid's got a step. I mean, maybe if it's an absolute perfect ball, he's got a crack at it. But once again, that ball was kind of in the stands there. So I don't know how much blame I'm putting on Kincaid there, if any. So now he had 3 targets in the 4th quarter that were all incomplete. Here's the next one. There is 58 seconds left. This is the final drive here. Batted ball at the line of scrimmage. So if you're noticing, the majority of these plays for Kincaid, he's open. Just something goes wrong. Either Allen gets his head taken off by the pressure, or he's under too much pressure and has to get it away. Or something like this, it gets batted down. I mean, right here, Kincaid's wide open. So he's been open on all of these. That just gets batted at the line of scrimmage. Tough luck. And then here's the final one. 17 seconds left. This has to be the play right before the wow. All right. So see, this is why you got to go back and look, because the numbers certainly do not reflect everything. You have 2 targets here, the final 2 to him. Mahomes sack? Yes, sir. Are we going to witness history tonight, folks? Are we going to witness something tonight? Who's down for the Bucs? If it's Vita Vea, it's not good. Even when Mahomes gets sacked, it's like the most, it takes like 30 seconds to sack the guy. Guy just does these little dances, man, just dancing nonstop. God. But once again, so Allen's looking downfield here, obviously. They need to get into field goal range. Doesn't have it. I don't even know. All right, so Kincaid, that's Knox. I thought that was Kincaid at first. That's Kincaid, so it's going to Kincaid. Wait, that's not even the same play. What the hell? I replayed the second one. Idiot. I'm an idiot. All right, this is the throw to Kincaid. Let me see the sideline angle here. I don't like that angle. Okay, here's the throw right before Coleman got the PI to put the Bills in good shape. All right, so they got trips to the left here. Allen's got time. Obviously, he's going downfield here. So here's Kincaid. He's open right here. Allen hasn't gotten rid of the ball yet. He's about to. So it was a little late on this, I would say, because if Allen throws this ball right now, they wouldn't even have had to have Jordan Poyer bail him out of the game. They're in field goal range. If he throws this right now, like once again, I mean, he's wide the hell open. And he's late on this because now that Allen's getting ready to throw, Kincaid's running into coverage here. Now he's still got him. He's wide open. I mean, that's a bad ball. That's a bad throw. Kincaid still got the step. If this ball's thrown to the 20 on the sidelines, that's a catch. It's just like a couple of throws prior. He might have had a chance at this, but that's a real tough ball to catch, especially when you have the defender in your way up until he can see it. By the time he sees it, it's at his feet. Walter's saying, is Allen supposed to make things easier for Kincaid or the other way around? Because we're making a lot of excuses. I mean, I don't know, Walt. You tell me on this one. Because I don't know what Kincaid's supposed to do here. This is one that he might have been able to have. But the ones we watched prior, you had two passes where Allen was getting blown up, and that's why he couldn't get the ball off or it didn't make it to Kincaid. You had one at his feet. You had one batted at the line. And this one, once again, it's just Kincaid's feet on this one are at the 20. This ball lands at like the 19. Let's take a look at the other angle. Now, this one, more than maybe the other ones, he might have had a better chance at this. I will say, though, Allen had him way earlier in this route, like right here. Where's Kincaid? Right here. He goes over 20 there. But he's waiting for it to develop. All right. So this angle is a little bit more revealing. That's a tough one. I think we can all agree on this one. Might have had a chance. But it still would have had to have been an unreal play. He's got the step on him. If he leads Kincaid out and this ball's up, that's a catch. I see what you're saying, Walt. This one, more than anything, this is probably not the best example of the ones where it wasn't catchable. He definitely had a chance on this one. But I think the general sentiment here in all of the plays we just watched here, something went wrong on just about every Kincaid target. I will say I'm happily surprised that when I went back and looked, he had 10 targets. Because when you're watching that game, you would not have assumed that he had 10 targets. But the silver lining to me is that it just felt like things outside of the play did not go well for it to work out, but there was still an emphasis on trying to get him the football, which I think that there should be. He's got a chance there. He's definitely got a chance. It's still a real tough play, though. Either way, though, to answer the... Oh, what a catch. Chiefs are down at the 3-yard line. What a catch. So the overall reason we got to this point in talking about Kincaid, right, is he not who we drafted him to be? I just don't know yet. My God, that was an unreal throw and catch. Mahomes just threw that ball into triple coverage. And who even was that? Who the hell even was that? Was that DeAndre Hopkins? Yep. Oh my God. D-Hop tonight, folks, has 5 catches for 65 yards for the Chiefs already. 5 catches, 65 yards. Juju Smith-Schuster wasn't playing tonight, I believe. Oh, my God. D-Hop. Oh, what a catch. I cannot believe Houston sent D-Hop to the Chiefs. I just can't. Why does anybody help the Chiefs out? Why does anybody do that? Why? Why? If there was one bet I didn't bet tonight. If there was one bet I would have made, though, it would have been the D-Hop over. Not because I'm doing revisionist history here, but because Tampa Bay secondary is so bad. Have you seen Kirk Cousins' numbers against the Tampa Bay Bucs this year? I'm pretty sure 1/3 of Tampa Bay or of Kirk Cousins' entire stat line this year comes from the 2 games that he played against the Bucs this season. Who did I say? Did I say Houston? Did I say Houston helped out the Chiefs? I meant Tennessee. And there it is. D-Hop touchdown. Couldn't be me. Houston, Tennessee, whatever. I don't know why the hell I said Houston. You want to know probably why? How forgettable was D-Hop in Tennessee? Good God. In the middle of the game against the Bills, he just went to the sideline. He said, I'm done. I'm done. Yeah, and Mike's saying they sent him a starting linebacker for next to nothing, too. Uche from the Patriots just sent him to Kansas City this past week. I mean, I feel like there should be a collective effort amongst the AFC. Do not give these guys a damn thing. So on the night tonight already. Oh, son of a bitch. I just knew the second that they signed him, it's going to matter in January. Like everyone already, it's funny. I think Damian Woody or someone said, I think they said it on the pregame today. The same thing I said once they signed this guy. It's the same exact thing. He said tonight, I said it as soon as they signed him. Everyone's going to think he blows. He's washed because he went to Tennessee and he was playing with, what's his face there? Mason Rudolph. Everyone's going to think he's just done. And then all of a sudden the resurrection of DeAndre Hopkins will magically happen. But already tonight, he's got 6 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown. I just don't know how you send that guy to him. This is my whole thing back, and everybody gets this confused with me all the time. Rico still does. I try telling him. I was never mad about getting Coleman. I love Coleman. I never wanted Xavier Worthy. It was never me pounding the table for Xavier Worthy. It was always just giving the Chiefs the draft pick. That was the only thing that pissed me off. It wasn't the guy. It wasn't who the Bills got. It wasn't who they got. It was the fact they got him on the Bills' dime. I just don't understand why anybody does anything advantageous for them. Anything. I don't care. I don't care if it's somebody bringing them an extra set of Gatorade bottles on the sideline because they forgot theirs on the bus. Don't bring them to them. Sorry. Tough luck. Go. Have someone run up to the stands and get them for you. Have someone run up to the concessions and get them a couple Gatorades. Won't be me. Like, I don't understand how anybody does anything for these guys. Anything. Including being at the time. Sorry. I don't get it. Yes, I love Coleman. I couldn't be more excited about having him. And the progression's been incredible. And he's doing exactly what they drafted him to do. I wouldn't have changed a thing in terms of the Bills drafted. But the Bills could have gotten Coleman with that pick. And I think the Bills could have still gotten Coleman if they would have traded with the Niners or somebody else and not the Chiefs. That was my whole point. Bills were still going to get Coleman regardless. It was never about the guy. And yeah, Brian, like I did say, yeah, the Bucs secondary is trash. He also went up and caught a ball on 3 defenders. Well, don't be rational right now. We're hating on the Chiefs. Don't be rational. There's no rationale when it comes to the hate. You know that. And like I said, I think that they would have still had a trade partner. There were trades going left and right at the end of that first round, and the beginning of the second round. And didn't they say that they had interest from other guys? I could give a damn about Xavier Worthy. It was just giving them a damn pick. But back to the Kincaid thing. It's another reason why I'm just bummed right now that we're getting a little injury here, a little injury there. And once again, I don't know if there's anything little about this Coleman injury. I hope it's little. But it's just I want the cohesiveness of this to continue to build. Right? With Cooper, Coleman, Shakir, Kincaid. I want to see this continue to build. And when you got one guy out here, when you got one guy out there, it throws a wrench into things. So really hoping that things can get patched up on the injury front. Is this the fastest game of all time, by the way? I just looked down and this first half is almost over. This game hasn't even been on an hour. All right, 2:45 left, 3rd and 10. Baker Mayfield just took his 12th sack of the game. Screen pass, get up. They don't have much down the field without Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. They just don't. The silver lining, once again, about that Kincaid situation was that there was an emphasis on getting him the ball. I cannot for the life of me believe that he had 10 targets in that game. And it just felt like each one of them had something happen. But what it does show you, I guess, is it's exactly what I would have anticipated. And that's, okay, Cooper's out. Time to get Kincaid involved. I mean, he had nearly twice as many targets as the next guy. Or no, Shakir had 7. But outside of that, it was all Kincaid in terms of receivers or tight ends. James Cook had 6 targets himself as well. But really, if it wasn't for Ray Davis blowing that play open, the pass game yesterday, and you noticed it. I mean, you noticed. It just was not the same without Cooper out there. Down the field, there just wasn't a whole lot available. There just wasn't a whole lot going on down the field. You go back and look at the Titans or the Seahawks game. How many times was there just an opening in the middle of the field and either Kincaid was there or Coleman was there? It's just different when he's not out there. And I wonder how much different it'll be. This will be interesting. This actually will be really interesting. If they go into Sunday, and let's say we find out tomorrow what the extent of Coleman's injury is, and regardless of how long it is, let's just anticipate he doesn't play against the Colts. And let's say Cooper's back. What does that mean for Cooper? Is that a 10-target day for Cooper? Or is it just a major day for Khalil Shakir because the emphasis has to be shutting down Cooper? What's it going to look like when Coleman's not in there, but Cooper is? That'll be interesting. Obviously, that's contingent on finding out what we find out tomorrow. How about that win, though, yesterday, folks? I still can't get over T-Bass making that. So I had a couple of my good buddies from college were at the game. My buddy Matt's a season ticket holder. My buddy Nate lives right in town. He goes to most. And you can let me know in the comments. I'm sure some of you were there. They said the place was just, it was pandemonium. They said it was unbelievable. That was one of those moments. Obviously, I wish I could go to every game, but living in Connecticut now, I got to pick and choose my spots. And I will be in San Francisco. I got an amazing story to share about that whole situation as that game gets closer. But that was one of those moments yesterday after it happened where I'm like, man, I wish I was in the building for that one. That was a moment, man. That was a special, special moment. And my buddies were telling me that it was just crazy. place was losing their mind. And you can tell, not necessarily on the broadcast feed, because they kind of pan out, or they kind of fade out the stadium audio a bit so that they can allow the commentators obviously to speak. But there's a couple of angles I saw from a couple of reporters from the side, and you can really hear the volume. Let me see if I can find one. Might have been my man Dan Fates again who had that, who had one of the angles. Maybe Jenna Cottrell. Let me take a peek. You can hear. Yep, man. Dan. Shout out Dan Fates yesterday. Man, he had a couple of killer angles on his footage yesterday. He was in a good spot yesterday. Take a listen to this crowd noise on T-Bass's kick yesterday. I mean, you can't see it on the camera, obviously. I'd have to have a 12K camera, but I just got goosebumps, man. Straight chills. Excellent work from Dan. I gotta throw that a retweet. Listen to this again. Man, oh man, oh man. That is incredible. It was just one of those moments, man. It was just one of those moments where I feel like I'm going to remember that one for a while. That's why I said yesterday, I wasn't being hyperbolic. It was one of my favorite wins in a while, not because I didn't anticipate the Bills to win. They were a touchdown favorite. Not because of the win itself. I expect to beat the Dolphins. As you know, we all do. Not because of the way the Bills played throughout the full duration of the game. There was a lot of that game that you would kind of want to, forget about, especially defensively. That moment is going to stick with me for a long time. Because of that, dude, I haven't been that happy for someone that I don't personally know in such a long time. And that's what's so cool about being a fan, man. It's like, you don't know Tyler Bass, but you feel like you know his struggles. You feel like you know his pain. And you also felt like you knew that everyone watching that they were doubting him in that moment. They were doubting his ability to go out and do that. Especially in a game where he just misses his third extra point of the year. It's already the most he has on a season. We're only halfway through the year. I think it was fair to say going into a 61-yarder, which would, of course, wind up being the franchise record for the Bills, that many people were thinking, I just don't see how this happens. When are the Bills on the side? When are the Bills on the right side of the 61-yard field goal, folks? Come on. We're always on the other end. And he did it. He did it, man. He absolutely did it. And he did it. There was no, what's the word? There was no doubt. There's no better way to put it. There was no doubt. I mean, it's kind of like in basketball when Curry shoots a three and he starts walking down to the other end of the court with his wrist up like this. It was just no doubt. That's nothing but net. That's going in like right off of the right foot. That thing was instantly good. It never went to the left. It never went to the right. It never looked short. It was a perfect kick. And they could have backed that thing up to the middle of the Buffalo logo and they would have drilled it. They would have drilled it. Yeah, Dunn saying it's the longest kick made in that building. Dude, it was a franchise record. Like, that's the other thing. Like, it wasn't like it was just a killer kick. Like, even, a 55-yarder still, it's crazy. It's still an unreal moment. To have that moment, like, think about everything that goes into that moment, right? Think about it. So, the Dolphins had played probably their best game against the Bills in how long? Multiple performances. Their season's on the line. The Dolphins' year is on the line. The Dolphins now, after that loss, have a 3% chance to make the playoffs. It's over. Their season was on the line yesterday. That was a playoff game for them. And they did everything that they could have for the most part to win that game. At the very least, send it to overtime. Right? Prior to this, you have Tyler Bass miss an extra point. You also have him miss, or not miss, but nail the left upright. The luck of the draw. How often off of that upright are those things just falling right back to earth? 90% of the time. So he misses his third extra point of the year, tied for the most in his career, or already the most in his career, through halfway through the season here. Barely through halfway through the season. Then, next opportunity he got, he nails an upright. Luck of the draw, it just so happens to go in. Then right before this play, former Buffalo Bills legend, Jordan Poyer. Unnecessary roughness against him. Former Buffalo Bill Jordan Poyer, one of our favorites, comes in and nails Keon Coleman in the head, sets this opportunity up because this play does not happen if that doesn't happen. And then you also factor in everything outside of this game itself. The fact that Tyler Bass was dealing with his struggles all year long, dealing with his struggles all last season, the missed kick against the Chiefs, of course, in the playoffs being the last we saw of him last year. All of those things. Fumble, 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 fumble. That's Bucs ball. That's Bucs ball. That's Bucs ball. That's Bucs ball. That's Tampa ball. That's Tampa ball. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, mother effing sir. That is Tampa ball. Kelce fumble. 3 timeouts left, 7-10. 3 timeouts left, 7-10. That is 100% a fumble. That is the Bucs ball. They're already in field goal range right before the half. And Kelce has been cooking them today. Cooking them. Let's go, boys and girls. Let's go. Anyway. All the things that had gone into the game, right? They had brought in another kicker. They had brought in another kicker to work out. That's where we were at with Bass. Bass is getting interviewed by the media. They're not in field goal range, by the way, the Bucs. They're close, though. But Bass is getting interviewed by the media. He knows his job's on the line. The man's job is on the line. He's got somebody in the building potentially there to take his job. All of these things, right? All of the stress that comes with that. All of it. And it all comes down to one moment. And now, 61-yard line, or 61 yards to win the game, to end the Dolphins season, to improve to 7-2, to further widen the Grand Canyon-sized gap of the AFC East, to keep some sort of hope alive for the 1 seed. All of these things at home in front of the fans that have been dying to see this moment, dying to give him the love that we want to give him, And he does it. And he does it in a no-doubter. I mean, if you think of all the things that went into that and the fact that it went down, man, it was just one of the coolest moments. That's why I'll never forget it. All of those things, man. All of those things. The struggles he's had, not only throughout the year, but in that game itself. The Jordan Poyer moment leading up to it. The fact the Dolphins had to have that game. The fact that the Bills defense allowed the Dolphins to even be into that game at the end, right? The fact that it was at home. The fact that it could win the game. The fact that it was a franchise record-setting kick, a 61-yarder, which the Bills have lost on a 60-yarder to the Texans this year. They went to overtime last year on a 60-yarder against the Eagles. They're never on the winning side of that, and that man did it. And out of all of that, the other thing that I think can't go overlooked is the fact that the confidence that is going to be instilled in him moving forward from that cannot be measured. Cannot be measured. All right, 3rd and 6. Oh, designed run for Baker. Attaboy, Bake. Let's go, baby. Baker Mayfield. Oh. Every time. Just feels like every time something goes my way, something I want, there's laundry. It's like my life in a nutshell. Anytime I want to go do something, Oh, I got a load of laundry to do. Every time I walk out of the house, oh, I probably should do that. Probably should have done that laundry. Go to bed, the pile of laundry staring at me. Oh, I probably should fold that laundry. Something good in the football game happens. Oh, there's laundry. Oh, it's my man Cody, too. My man Cody, who refuses to get his teeth fixed. Legend. Oh, Cody Mock, right? Cody Mock is how you pronounce it. I love that dude. Shit. All right, 41 seconds left, 3rd and 14, man. The Bucs, you got to capitalize on the opportunities they give you, damn it. Oh, he's going to get sacked. Oh, bake. Damn it. All right, 3rd and 14. Baker ran it again. What did he gain? He gained like 10 of it back, 9 of it back, 4th and 5. What's the move, Todd? This Bucs offensive line is getting cooked. Please don't punt it. Just go for it. Who cares? Damn it. 4th and 4. They're going to punt it. Son of a bitch, man. They got the ball gifted to him on the 45. They didn't do anything with it. Anyone know? I got to look who got the ball first. Hey, you know what? At the end of the day, though, we get to go into the second half of the game that's worth enjoying. That's fun. We get to watch it together. At least there's that. Let me see. Does anybody know who got the ball first in this game? Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of things going on with my disdain for the refs. One of them, yeah, I hate laundry. I hate it. So when I see laundry, it's like repressed memories. Just everything comes to the forefront. All this stuff. I just hate everything about it. Oh, Adventures with a Smile is saying Casey got the ball first. All right, thanks for the update. All right, so we know what the Chiefs can do with 20 seconds. So let's see here. There's a toss. Okay, so the Chiefs got 16 seconds, 2 timeouts before the half, and the Bucs will get the ball first in the second half. Okay. While we're on the topic of this game, take a peek here. All right, so the Chiefs running up the middle. Timeout, 10 seconds left. They're at like the 35. Once again, another shout out to BetUS. If you weren't here earlier in the game, the lines are open for Week 10. The Bills open up as a 4-point favorite against the Indianapolis Colts next week. I'm loving it. I am loving it. Bills 4-point favorite on the road against the Colts next week. Looking through the slate here in terms of teams. So this is a big one. Sunday night. This is actually a great Sunday night football game. Lions-Texans. Detroit only a 3-point favorite against Houston. Ooh, you might need to sign me up for that one, folks. Lions is a 3-point favorite against Houston. Did you watch Houston? Did you watch Houston against the Jets Thursday night? Because my God, that was awful. Awful. All right, another sack for the Bucs. They're getting after Mahomes tonight. This is a good sign for a couple weeks from now, for Groot, for Ed, right? Maybe Vaughn can come back and show us a little something, right? AJ, let's go. Nice momentum builder going into the half. You squandered the fumble, but that's a nice momentum builder. Let's take it. 10-7 at the half. Anyway, I'm loving this. So anyway, the reason I brought this Texans game up, so if the Texans lose that game, they could fall another game down in the AFC. Should the Bills win against the Colts, they could just continue to move up. The line isn't up yet for Bills Broncos, but we know that that they'll be favored and they should be able to take care of them. I mean, holy hell, did you see what the Ravens did to the Broncos yesterday? Dunn making a good point, by the way. Yeah, Nico Collins will be back for this game, but I still like Detroit. I just think Detroit's a better football team than Houston right now. I don't know what it is with Houston. I know that they beat the Bills. The Bills played, they shot themselves in the foot more times than we can count in that game, but it's not like Houston didn't deserve to win it. I thought they outplayed Buffalo in that game, but if you've watched Houston throughout the year, they haven't really put a full game together yet. I don't know what's going on. Something seems a bit off with Houston. Now, getting Nico Collins back will be huge for that offense. We saw what he did to Buffalo before he went out, but still like Detroit in that game. So if you want to get in on these games for Week 10 coming up, you know the deal. BetUS is promo code YouTube150. That's a 150% sign-up bonus up to $2,000 on your first deposit with that promo code and 125% bonus on your next two after that. My man Jason Kelce's up here. He apologized for what he did at the Penn State-Ohio State game, smashing the phone. He apologized before the game. That's the problem when you're as famous of a person as Jason Kelce is. Because I feel like you go from a guy, Jason Kelce, if Jason Kelce had done that, 8 years ago, there would have been a video out, but whatever, people wouldn't have cared. But Jason Kelce is an A-list celebrity now. And what the dude was doing to him, he was harassing him. He was saying terrible things to him, getting right up in his face. The problem is there's certain things that you cannot do once you get to the level in which Jason Kelce's at. So I understood why you apologize. You have to, but you got some guy in your face harassing you and stuff. It's weird how when you become somebody like him, you have got to completely compartmentalize every single moment of your day. You cannot do what 99.9% of other people can do because you are in a whole other stratosphere. You got these Fortune 500 corporate companies that are paying you gobs of money to be the face of their marketing campaigns. Right now, he's one of the faces of ESPN, and he's got a gazillion-dollar podcast. You gotta consider the outcome of everything that you do, and you got to anticipate that somebody's filming you every second of every day. I couldn't imagine living like that. I mean, that would be nuts. It would be crazy. If your life all of a sudden, obviously he was a pertinent, type guy. I mean, he was a prominent guy, rather. He was one of the best offensive linemen in the game. Eagles future Hall of Famer. So it wasn't like he was an unknown guy, but that's what I'm getting at. There's a difference between even being a celebrity and being that. It's crazy. I've seen it before. I'm sure we've told you the story. There's a difference between being Dawson Knox and Josh Allen. And obviously you know that already, but the difference is astronomical. You can't even fathom it. Rico and I were at an event interviewing all the players, and Allen was there. And you just see it in person, and it's insane. The life is crazy. Everything you do, someone wants to be a part of it. Someone's there. You got everybody telling you what to do at any given time so that you're able to do all the things that are on your list. Someone's grabbing at you here. Someone's grabbing at you there. When you walk into a room, everyone gravitates to you. The eyes gravitate to you. The energy gravitates to you. It's wild. It's a crazy life. It's a crazy life. And that's why when you're in that life, it's a privileged life too, of course. You don't just get there. You don't just get that way for nothing. I mean, you've earned it, and there's a reason you're like that, right? There's a reason for it. But once you get there, everything you do is under a microscope. So anyway, he apologized for that. But the reason I brought up the pregame show is after he apologized for that and they got into the pregame show, they were doing an Andy Reid lookalike contest for Halloween. And there was some dude in the stands who looked identical to Andy Reid. And the gift, Jason Kelce gave him clippings of Andy Reid's whiskers. They cut off a bit of Andy Reid's mustache, put it in a Ziploc bag, and gave it to the guy in the stands who won the Andy Reid lookalike contest, which I thought was hilarious. Which is funny because if that's me, as you can tell and you know by now, I'm a huge collector. That's why, if you follow me on Twitter, I'm always putting out the new stuff that comes out, whatever. If someone had given me that, say someone gave me the lookalike contest award or whatever, and they gave me that, I would have that framed up immediately. That would be the sickest thing ever. The coolest thing in my collection. Yeah, like Laura's saying, he's yeah, that guy was a jerk. Jason exercises restraint, but yeah, you can't do that. Which I would agree. I mean, I've heard the same, the same sentiment you're sharing right now. from many people, where they said they would have done worse and this and that. That's the thing. It's like, it's 100% like the guy harassed him and stuff. Like it's 100% on that guy, and 99% of people would have done what Kelce would have done. It's just you can't do it anymore. You can't do that. It's just a whole different life. You live such a different life once you get to a certain point. And I just feel like, unfortunately, stuff like what happened to him has to happen, like where you have to go through the social media crap and you have to apologize and stuff, because I feel like it's all trials and tribulations. You have to learn from it. Like you have to learn through it. No one gives you the rule book on how to become an A-list celebrity. By the way, they have the highlights up from the Bills game yesterday. That throw to Quentin Morris that Allen had. You know what's amazing about that throw? Let's pull it up on the NFL Pro. Get the all 22 angle of it. You know what's the amazing part about that throw? If anybody else did that, they'd be talking about it all day, including us. Like, you know how last night, if you joined Rico and I on the post game, we watched that Saquon Barkley hurdle like 4 different times. That was one of the coolest things I've ever seen on a football field. I've never seen someone backwards hurdle somebody. And then you think about it, and it's like, you've never seen a quarterback hurdle somebody either, and Allen's done it 4 times. What Allen has done to the game, even us who defend him over everything. I mean, if someone says that, say someone says that Allen is, say that they come out with the Madden ratings and there's a couple of 99 overalls, and say Allen gets a 98 overall. For a fact, you go online right now, and there would be 100 Bills Mafia members arguing about the fact that Josh Allen should be a 99. We defend him over everything. And even us who are looking into everything Allen does with the most glowing of eyes, even we take for granted the stuff like what we saw yesterday. We know it's amazing, but when the guy just does it as routinely as he does, like we can't help but almost just move on to the next thing. That's what it's become. That play was insane. I'm pulling up the all 22 of it right now. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen the screenshot by now, where he's basically halfway tackled. He's almost completely on the ground, and it's a touchdown. Check it out. Here's the all 22. I haven't seen this angle yet, so this will be cool. Come on. All right, so right here, look at this. So for starters, I mean, my God, the guy is, he's something else, man. All right. Does this thing want to stop being an idiot? Okay, so play action. There is nothing here. I mean, there is initially there is absolutely nothing. Okay. Kincaid gets off the block, but there's still nothing there. And if you look at it right now, so he's already set up. Most of the time when you're running a play on any given down, you're looking to get rid of the ball either right now or maybe a half a second after this. And if that's the case, there is absolutely nothing going on this play. It is just a scrum in the middle here. Anything going on over here is irrelevant. He's already halfway over to the sideline here. Nothing going on. Okay. Play develops. That's Knox rather. Okay. So Knox he's going through his route here. He's fully covered. And as of right now, Knox is the only person on the field that could even be remotely targeted. You can't go backside here, and that's not even open to begin with. Kincaid's just standing in the middle here. That's irrelevant. And then there's nothing else. You don't even see Quentin Morris in this screenshot. He's not even visible right now. We are 7 seconds into the 12-second duration play. You can't even see Quentin Morris. And here's Allen. Okay? And he's just waiting. And now look at this. Look at the footwork here. Look at the footwork. He's got this guy doing the tango because he doesn't know where he's going to go. Watch this dude's legs. You see those? You see his legs? You see this dude's legs? He's looking like an ant. Look at him. And he still gets by him. So he's got this guy. I mean, the mental game that comes from this is insane, by the way. Because this guy's got no idea what to do. Because he's seen this magician do it 1,000 times. And he's just dancing. He's got his legs. And look at this. Boom. Unreal. Now, right now, look at this. 8 seconds. Allen doesn't even have the ball in his throwing arm. Oh, my God. I didn't even realize he switched arms. He switched arms. This psycho. Look at this. He switches hands. This is why I tweeted out yesterday. The dude, it literally reminded me of Steph Curry, where you're driving, you get past the guy, you bounce back out, you throw up the lob for the alley-oop. So mind you, at the 8-second mark of this play, mind you, this play is 12 seconds in length. Josh Allen has the ball in his left hand in the middle of a sack, and Quentin Morris is falling to the floor. He switches hands back to the right. He literally, that's the equivalent of in basketball, like going through your legs to get by the guy. You got the ball on your right, you dribble past the guy to your left, and then you come back to the right. Now he's got this big mother effer on the line coming to take his head off. Look at this. Now, look at this. I mean, I don't even think I realized how amazing that play was until I saw this angle. I did not know he switched hands. I did not know Quentin Morris essentially was on the floor. This is insane. This is insane. And if you're a Dolphins fan, and this is why, like, when you watch Mahomes do stuff, it pisses us off so much. Like earlier, when I watched D-Hop catch a ball on 3 defenders, like, yeah, it makes me want to vomit. But then you watch this. Like, imagine being a Dolphins fan on this. Could you imagine being a Dolphins fan on this? You made this man have to literally do an Allen Iverson type move on you. You're in the middle of getting sacked by 2 defenders. As you're getting completely blown up, he lobs it up to a guy that was halfway on the floor a half a second ago, and it's wide open. That is, dude, and you know what's crazy is that play is so unbelievable, and it's just so routine that, like, nobody even cares anymore. I mean, yeah, they say what we all say. That's amazing, and then you just move on. Second half is just kicked off, by the way, for the Bucs. The Bucs have the kick return. Bucs are going. Let's go, folks. Bucs on the kick return to start the second half all the way out to the 50-yard line. Let's go. Let's get the other angle of this. Oh, here we go. This will be a cool angle. This guy, look at that. Look at that. Do you see that? Dude, this guy's not human, man. And not only that, not only does he get it off, which that in itself, avoiding the sack there is almost impossible. Look at the ball placement. If he throws it to Morris right where he is right now, the lineman here is picking that off. Like, if he throws it right to where he was, he's picking that off. He puts it only where he can grab it. Dude, I got to do this more often. Like, when plays like this happen, we got to sit down and watch it like this more often, because we're just taking it for granted at this point. We're just taking it for granted. I mean, that's insane. That is insane right there. That isn't even human. Maybe Mahomes. That's it. Maybe Mahomes. Maybe. Dude, you can't even see Quentin Morrison. He's not even visible for over half of this play. How did he even see him? How did Allen even see where he was? Look where Allen is right now. He can't see Morris. Morris is right here. Morris is playing center, for God's sakes, halfway through this play. How does he even see him? Oh my God. Dude, what can you even say? Personal foul on the defense. Personal foul on the Chiefs. Looking like that will pull a face mask, yep, or a horse collar or something. That should put the Bucs at what, the 20? Textbook horse collar. You know what though, man? That is a work of art. That is you know what, you get what I'm saying though? You get what I'm saying though? Like, obviously we are appreciative of the guy and what he does. Are we as much as we should be? And I know we are a lot, but I mean that right there. Oh, go. We're going both angles right here. All right, so the Bucs are down to the 10. I don't even know who they're throwing the ball to right now. Jarrett? I don't know Jarrett, but I hope he gets in the end zone here. It's amazing. Like, I've watched every one of these Chiefs games. They're all like this. And my question is right now is like, how are they going to find a way at the end? Like, something's going to happen. The Bucs without Mike Evans and Chris Godwin simply cannot go into Kansas City and win, can they? Does that sound right to you? All right, here's the sweep. All right, first down. First down at the 11. And we're not even 3 minutes into the second half. Almost 10 o'clock. Can you believe the election's tomorrow, by the way? I can't even believe that. That came out of nowhere. I mean, I know the god-awful political ads have been on for months. Cannot wait. I mean, that's the beauty of the week here. Those will come to an end. Thank God. Then that, of course, that'll just transition into Christmas ads, which is even more crazy. I cannot believe that that's the case. Yes. K-Dot, baby, 6. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Bake. The Bake Show. Whipping it up. Let's go, baby. Cade Otton. Beautiful route. Look at this. The motion. Right out of the motion from the right to the left side. Instantly into the route bake with the pump bake. Sells it wide open. Boom. Beautiful job. Beautifully executed. Let's go. That's exactly what had to happen. Right out of the chutes. Touchdown Bucs. Right down the field. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Extra point, snap good, hold good, it's up and good. Bucs are up 14-10. Let's go, folks. Let's go. Dylan's saying he needed that for fantasy. You want to know what happened with me in fantasy this week? My buddy Away. He had Devon Achane, Saquon Barkley, and Jalen Hurts. Barkley was running back 1. Achane was running back 2. Hurts was quarterback 1. 3 players with 32-plus points. When does that happen? Oh, I'll tell you when it happens. When someone's playing my ass. That's when it happens. It's crazy. Cody's bringing up a good point. He's talking about next week. We could talk about that for a little bit as we watch the second half here. I was hoping, I'm like, all right, I'm like, it's Monday night. I'm like, you know what? The Chiefs are on. I don't usually do watch parties for non-Bill or really ever. But I'm like, the Chiefs are on. The Bills play them in 2 weeks. I'm like, is there a chance something special can happen tonight? And if so, why don't we watch it together? So I said, screw it. Let's do it. And we got like 1,000 of you in here. And right now, I'm getting everything I hoped I would get so far. We're just into the third quarter, and the Tampa Bay is up 14-10. All right, so Cody's talking about next week. Obviously, the Bills on the road against the Colts, and Anthony Richardson benched, Joe Flacco the starting quarterback. This Colts team last night, not sure if you watched, Sunday Night Football. I feel like an idiot because I told you yesterday on the post-game show prior to the start of that game, I said, you watch tonight. I said, this team is different with Joe Flacco, and that's ultimately the reason why I feel like they did it in the first place, benching Anthony Richardson. They're better with Flacco. Anthony Richardson was playing maybe the worst quarterback in the sport before Deshaun Watson got hurt. And, you know, the Colts aren't a bad football team. They've been within a field goal twice of the Texans. If they would have won one of those games, they could have been in solid position to potentially try and win that division. You know, 4-4 going into last night. And if you look at the standings right now in the AFC, which we can go ahead and take a peek at right now, because it is a cluster F. It is an absolute shit show in terms of the bottom of this conference right now. If you go ahead and take a look, Arrowhead Nation saying, let's go. I don't know what that means. Am I a little behind? Hold on. Just give me a second here. Let me see if my stream's behind here. Because I don't know what Arrowhead Nation's let's going on me right now. All right. It can't be a kick return. My stream can't be that far behind. Arrowhead Nation, you know I love you. You know you're always showing support. I got nothing but love for you, but not tonight. Not tonight. So here is the current standings. I mean, just look at the bottom of this conference, right? You currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 6 teams with 2 wins. 6 teams with 2 wins. 7, 8, 9 teams sub 500. You have more than half of the entire conference below 500 right now. So outside of your divisional winners, it really is anybody's ball game. And I would imagine that even outside of the divisional winners, like one of the higher end teams will get in, leaving at least 2 spots for teams that, I mean, it is just anyone's ball game right now. If the season ended today, the Chargers and the Broncos would occupy that 6-7 spot. But it truly is just completely up in the air at this point in time. And a team like the Colts are certainly vying for a playoff spot. As of right now, the Colts are only a game out. They're tied with the Bengals. They're in 8th place currently. They're only a game out. They're on what we like to call the bubble, or in the hunt, of course, as we have become accustomed to calling it over the years. They're right there. So they're certainly playing for a lot. And I had felt like the move to Joe Flacco, I know a lot of people were critical of it, but the Colts are certainly in a position to go for the playoffs. I don't think they're a Super Bowl team. Nobody does. But I feel like you start to lose the locker room if you know that this team is playoff caliber, yet you continue to trot out a quarterback that doesn't give you the best chance to win as Mahomes gets sacked, baby. Vita Vea on fire tonight. Let's go, Bucs. This is looking real good for this Bills front four so far. Just saying. Because this Bucs D is susceptible to getting absolutely pissed on a weekly basis. Bucs have been on primetime a good amount. I've watched a good amount. And they can get rolled. And the Chiefs, they've done a decent job of finding Kelce throughout this game and whatnot, but that's got to be what, the 4th sack, 5th sack? Wow. 3 and out for the Chiefs. Punt. Bucs field at the 35. They got some room. Oh yeah. The Bucs are going to get the ball at the 42-yard line, man. Let's go. How many sacks is that now? Anyway, it's anybody's ball game. The moral of the story was I understood the move to Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco had gone out for them this season and had it was so visibly better at the quarterback position than Anthony Richardson when he had gotten hurt a couple of games. He was slinging the ball over the field, multiple touchdowns, tons of yards, whatever. And the reason why you do it, I know that Steichen was getting criticized for it. And my thought was, yes, you're going to take some heat for it, but you're going to lose the locker room if you have the ability to make the playoffs and you lessen that ability by trotting out a guy in Anthony Richardson who does not give you the best chance to win. He doesn't. At this moment in time, Anthony Richardson doesn't give you the best chance to win. Is it unfortunate for Anthony Richardson? Yes. Is his time in Indy probably done? Yes. We know how these things go. Everyone is going to try to tell you that they're doing this for the best, for his own benefit. They're doing this so that he can learn under a veteran, have some more time to develop, and they'll put him out there when they feel like he's more than ready. You're going to hear all that. This almost never happens. I believe Adam Schefter was the one who tweeted out the other day. There's only been one quarterback ever that was drafted in the first round that went on to make a Pro Bowl after being benched and then put back into the starting lineup, and it was Mitch Trubisky. And we all know how that wound up going anyways. So, it's probably over. But at the same time, are you going to punt on the season so that Anthony Richardson can continue to turn the ball over and have a historically bad completion percentage? Probably not. So, I totally understand it. But then when you're watching last night, I couldn't believe it. They looked even worse than they did with Anthony Richardson out there. This offense was abysmal, just abysmal for the Colts last night. And I would have thought at the very least they would just be throwing the ball all over the field. Might not translate the points every single time, but I just anticipated them being able to sling the ball around the field and get yards and put themselves in position to score. And that just wasn't the case. Joe Flacco had 179 yards last night. 179 yards. Let's go. Cade Otton, babies. Cade Otton starting to step up. 20-yard reception for Cade Otton, and all of a sudden, Bucs are in Chiefs territory. And the Colts in that game scored only one touchdown. They scored one touchdown, and it was a defensive touchdown. It was on a Sam Darnold fumble where everyone didn't seem to know what was going on the play. A Colts defender picked it up and ran it back without a single person near him. So it was kind of like a fluky type play. Still a great play by the Colts D. I don't want to take anything away, but it wasn't like it wasn't like a pick six that went the other way, or it was like a fumble that everybody was going after. It looked like on the broadcast there was a fumble, and it just seemed like there was a lack of urgency to try to dive on it. Then they run it back. The broadcast made it seem like it might not be a touchdown. Then you watch the replay, and it was totally a fumble, totally a touchdown. That was the only touchdown they scored all game yesterday. 2 field goals from Matt Gay and a defensive touchdown, and they finished with 13 points. Now, I know people will say that the Vikings defense has been one of the better ones in the NFL. The Vikings defense has been playing tremendous collectively throughout the year, but the last 2 weeks, the Lions put up 31 on them, the Rams put up 30 on them, and the Rams were, in a spot where they weren't playing their best football. They had, of course, gotten Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua back, but 30 points, they controlled that game against the Vikings. And the Vikings didn't do much offensively against the Rams in that second half. But these Colts yesterday, if they're going to play the way that they did against the Bills this upcoming week, you could take that Bills -4 on BetUS all day long. Because they completely shut them down. Total yards, Minnesota outgained them 415 to 227. Passing yards outgained them 282 to 159. Rushing yards, and here's the key, and here's what's going to be the biggest difference, I believe, between the Bills game and the Colts game, and the Vikings game for these Colts, is the rushing yards, right? Minnesota outgained them 133 to 68. Jonathan Taylor had 13 carries in this game for only 48 yards, less than 4 yards a carry. That's going to be the key. Let me double check right now where the Vikings rank in terms of defensive overall or rush defense. 3rd and 12 for the Bucs. Baker surveys K. Dot, and get this guy an MVP tonight. Get K. Dot in a gold jacket. Get him fitted this evening. He is absolutely peppering this Chiefs D, and we got 2 Chiefs defenders are down right now. 2 of them. K. Dot's having an MVP night. 3rd and 12, K. Dot goes the distance for the first down. Bucs keep the drive alive. We're halfway through the third quarter. Bucs are looking to make a statement here. So Minnesota right now, in terms of the rush D, have the 2nd best rush D in the league. The reason I bring that up is that's going to be the biggest difference in this game for the Colts against the Bills to this game against the Vikings on Sunday Night Football. The Vikings have one of the best rush defenses in the league. We know the Bills have been struggling in that department. This game is all going to come down to what I've always thought it was going to come down to, regardless of who was playing quarterback, Anthony Richardson or Joe Flacco. It's always going to come down to Jonathan Taylor. In the 2nd overall rush defense in the Vikings last night, they shut him down. The Vikings right now are only allowing 81.9 rush yards per game. 2nd behind the Baltimore Ravens. So they have the number 1 rush defense in the NFC, 2nd overall in the entire league. And they completely took Jonathan Taylor out of the game last night. 13 carries for 48 yards. So you saw what the Colts offense was without the ability to run last night. It wasn't great. They couldn't throw the ball because they couldn't get the run game going either. And that's why, Joe Flacco finished 16-27 with no scores and 179 yards. The Bills' work will be cut out for them in that regard coming up this week. They have got to be able to shut down Jonathan. Well, I don't want to say shut down. I don't think they're going to be able to shut down anybody, but they got to be able to mitigate his impact on the game. I would have liked the Bills better in this spot with Anthony Richardson in there just because I think that guy is so susceptible to making mistakes that McDermott would have had him running around like a headless chicken back there if they were to play this upcoming week against him. Obviously, you have that veteran presence in Flacco. I just think this is the same reason why the Colts made the move. It puts them in a better spot. The Bills would have had a much better time wreaking havoc on that offense if Anthony Richardson was back there. We know McDermott does very well against inexperienced young quarterbacks, which Anthony Richardson is. But with that said, regardless of quarterback, it is all going to come down to Jonathan Taylor. And we remember the last time I believe the Bills played these Colts with Jonathan Taylor. It was the game in which the Bills, it was the last game prior to the Ravens game in which these Bills had lost by more than 6 points. Jonathan Taylor had went absolutely nuclear against these Bills in that game at home. Believe me, I was there. It was a nightmare. All right, game's back in play here. Bucs are down to the 20. It is 2nd and 2. A couple of Chiefs players banged up on the previous play, and there's a flag. Personal foul, face mask off. Face mask on Tristan Wirfs, 15-yard penalty for the Bucs. Come on, men. Come on, men. Oh, God. Yeah, he got a full handful of it. Damn it. Just to give you an example, though, of what we're up against with Jonathan Taylor and how good of a rush defense the Vikings have. Taylor's been hurt throughout the year here, so he doesn't have a full schedule of games, but he's played in 6 games this year. And another flag? Sorry I keep bouncing back and forth, but I'm very invested in this. I am very invested in this. Another one on the Bucs. It's going to be a legal man downfield, I think. Every time they pad to Todd Bowles, he just can't believe it. He's as confused as I am. And now there's no foul. Don't you love that? How often does this happen now? Flag, 30-second. Hey, there's the blind refs in the stands. Look at that. Love that. Look at that. One of them had a Chiefs hat on. Now that's a bit ironic. That's a bit ironic. But how often now do you see the flag? Then there's this conference. There is no foul. All right. And they just pick and choose when there's no foul, by the way. All right, 2nd and 25, Baker. Work's cut out for you. At least get back into field goal range. They need about 10 yards, 7 yards or so to get into comfortable field goal range, I'd say. All right, there's the screen pass. It's all right. All right, they're definitely in field goal range now. Bucky Irving out to about the 35, so it's 3rd and probably, 17? Is it raining there? I can't tell. Is it like pouring? Maybe not. I don't know why it looks like that to me. I don't know if it is or not. Here's Jonathan Taylor's numbers for the year, though. And as you can see, going into that Vikings game last night, he's been on fire. 100 yards against the Packers, 100 plus yards against the Bears, close to 100 against Pittsburgh, over 100 against Houston. And then last night he gets shut down against one of the best rush defenses in the league. So you can, if you're going to compare the Bills situation to that of any of these teams on here, you'd be much more likely to compare them to the middle of the pack here than you would the Vikings, who are towards the top of the league in rush defense. So you can see that Jonathan Taylor, he gets a ton of carries. Going into last night, he had 3 straight games of 20-plus carries, and he was hovering around 100 yards in each one, busting over 100 yards in 2 of the 3. Field goal up and good for the Bucs. They extend their lead 17-10, 5:50 remaining in the third quarter. All right. Okay. Better spot than I thought we'd be in at this point of the game. I can't lie. We'll take that. So as you can see in front of you here, here's the current makeup of Jonathan Taylor's season, what we're going to be up against going into the year, or into the game rather, this upcoming weekend. I wouldn't let last night fool you, just because Minnesota's rush defense is up there. They're one of the better ones. So you got to take that with a grain of salt. He's going to get his touches. He's going to get his yards. Can the Bills force mistakes on Flacco like they did last night? The Vikings did against Flacco last night. And can the Bills score points? You know, Minnesota kind of stopped. Their offense kind of sputtered out last night. But right now, the Bills are on a 3-game streak with 30-plus points. And if we go and look at what the Colts are up to this year in terms of points allowed defensively, let's take a peek. So right now, Indy is literally dead middle of the pack. Right in the middle of the pack right now in terms of points allowed defensively. They're allowing 21 points a game. And I believe the Bills right now are averaging right around 30 points a game. Yep, 29 points per game are the Bills averaging right now. So it's an advantageous matchup for the Bills. The one thing that concerns me is the Jonathan Taylor, the Jonathan Taylor situation. That's the one concern. I think that's the one concern everybody should have in this one. But we've played against running backs this year that are going to have the upper hand. The Bills have found a way to mitigate it. The only one that just completely dominated is the one that's dominating everyone right now, and that's Derrick Henry. Well, and Devon Achane yesterday. Doesn't he seem to always go off against the Bills? Achane went off yesterday. 8 targets, 8 catches. They had 150 rush yards. I was impressed by Miami's discipline yesterday. I was. It just feels like every time the Bills play them, they find a way to go away from the things that are working for them and completely screw themselves. They didn't do that yesterday. I have to give them credit. Tua played a masterful game, and they did everything that they could for the most part. Outside of that incredible forced fumble by Teron Johnson, what more could you ask for from the Dolphins offense yesterday? That's why it was such an impressive win for Buffalo to find a way, just finding a way. Those are the games you have to have, where you don't play all that great. One side of the ball really did not play well at all. Offense found a way in the second half, really stepped up, 3 consecutive touchdown drives. Despite the defense playing poorly, huge play made by Teron Johnson. You needed at least one big play from that D because they were not doing anything in terms of shutting down sustained drives. And then you had the Tyler Bass moment. It just all came together. Richie coming in with the Super Chat bot. What an honor to see you on this fine Monday. The pleasure is mine, Richie. The honor is mine. Richie is saying, so these are the big bad Chiefs we're supposed to be scared of. Bucks without top 2 receivers. Easy, Richie. Easy, Richie. Be respectful. Don't give anybody any bulletin board material like what's his face. Was it Jonnu Smith yesterday for the Dolphins? What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Don't do that. Don't do that stuff. Yeah, also, by the way, Richie, and I'm seeing Sword Brother Yosef coming in, saying game's not over. This game is 10,000 miles away from over. There's 5.5 left in the third, and they're up by a touchdown, or they're down by a touchdown, and they're home. They've played like this all year. Like if you're watching this Chiefs and this is some sort of like epiphany for you, I don't know what to tell you. They've done this all year. They just, you watch. I mean, I'm hoping it doesn't happen, but like something will just happen. Like out of nowhere. Like the defense will make a huge play, a pick or a fumble or something. And then the offense somehow finds a way to capitalize on it despite the fact they've done nothing all game. Like they just find a way every week. Don't you put that on me, Bartek. Bartek saying Chiefs going to win. Don't you put that evil on me, brother. He's saying it's inevitable. I mean, that's how I feel. I'm waiting for the inevitable. Waiting for the Thanos moment here. So here are the Chiefs. We're at 4:36 and counting. They're at the 50-yard line, second down. My monitor is kind of like a bit hazy on my side. Someone at home is watching on TV or something. Is it pouring rain or not? I don't know why I keep thinking this. I can't tell. It looks like it is. Oh, we got a Lions fan in here. Tim D. Tim, what up, baby? We'll see you in a couple weeks. About a month from now, we will be heading to the Motor City to take on your Lions. And I've been giving your Lions praise all year. In fact, me and Rico got into it yesterday. I said that right now, find me the team that's beaten Detroit. I said that right now Detroit is cruising to the Super Bowl right now, based on the way that they're playing. And I think I saw you say a chat earlier. You got Bills Lions Super Bowl. We were talking about it last night, man. Oh, man, that would feed families. You know that saying everybody always overuses? That would feed families? No. That would actually feed families. That would change millions of people's lives across the globe. Lions Bills Super Bowl. Because someone's got to win there first. I mean, that would be incredible. But, man, your Lions are fun to watch. See, I enjoy watching NFC. Like, say the Chiefs were in the NFC, I'd probably love watching them. I'd probably love the hell out of the team in terms of, like, entertainment value because it would just have nothing to do with the Bills. I wouldn't care. The only time we're going to see them is once every, once the schedule rotates that way or in the Super Bowl. So what the hell do I care? That's kind of how I feel about the Lions. I love Dan Campbell. They got so many likable guys on that team. I love the color scheme. Love the stadium. There's so many things to like about Detroit. And right now, man, I don't know how you can think they're not playing the best football in the league currently. The reason I don't have them as number one in my power ranking is just I refuse to dethrone the Chiefs ever until I'm proven drastically otherwise. And even then, when I am, I'm always proven wrong. Like last year, once they lost to the Raiders on Christmas Day, I was just like, man, this team's just not the same this year. And then we all know what they wound up going and doing. They go on the road. They beat Miami, Baltimore, Buffalo, and one of the best rosters in the league in Kansas City in back-to-back fashion to win the Super Bowl. It's crazy. But in terms of overall play right now, I don't know who's playing better than the Lions. You could have made an argument for Baltimore, but then again, they find a way to lose a couple of games that they shouldn't. They kicked the hell out of Denver yesterday. But then last week, it's like, how the hell do you lose to Cleveland? Cleveland got their ass rolled yesterday by the Chargers. So right now, I think the Lions are playing the best football in the league. And outside of the Bills game against the Lions, what week is that? I know it's in about a month from now. I think it's right after the Niners game, if I'm not mistaken. So that's on December 15th. So we're a little over a month away from that game. All right, we got a block in the back. All right, it is definitely raining now, by the way. I can see it on my screen. All right, so we got a block in the back on the Chiefs. Offsetting penalties. Oh my. Richie is saying, I promise you this. Going into week 11, Bills will be 8-2. Chiefs will be 9-1. Oh, you're promising Richie, don't go jinxing us right now. Richie's promising a Bills W next week. And he's promising a Chiefs loss tonight. Richie, come on. Don't be screwing us. And as you say that, Richie, here come the Chiefs. They're on the 20-yard line. See? Patience. Have a little humility. Richie's saying, I promise you this. Going into week 11, Bills will be 8-2. Chiefs will be 9-1. Winner takes one seed at the moment. Goodell can move the Bills, Chiefs to Sunday Night Football. Ooh. What is the Sunday Night Football game, week 11? You know what? It won't happen. It's a 4:25 game, and I guarantee you CBS protects it. There's no way that happens. No chance. CBS gets a handful of games that they can protect from being flexed to Sunday Night Football. Yeah, and the Sunday Night Football game that week is Texans-Cowboys. By the way, Dak Prescott out multiple weeks. The Cowboys are officially done. Not that you didn't think that they were already, but they are done now. I mean, they are way done. They are way done. Lost again yesterday to the Falcons. They're now 3-5. Cooper Rush taking over for the Cowboys. And, man, they're going to finish, unless something crazy happens, it looks like the Cowboys are going to finish with a losing record this year. Right now, I would say in the NFC, so the AFC, I think you know what the AFC is right now. You got half the conference. It's just mediocre to bad, right? And you know what the top is. It's what it's been outside of Cincy, but last year, Burrow got hurt and they were already off the radar. And then this year, they got a big W yesterday, scored 41 against the Raiders. Baltimore or Cincinnati's right in it because of how bad it is at the bottom, but they're not towards the top like you might have anticipated them to be. They're 4-5 right now. But right now, the AFC, you kind of know what it is. You got your staples, Chiefs, Bills, Ravens. Texans are right around where we thought they'd be, right? In the mix for towards the top. Steelers doing the same exact thing they do every year. Just, I don't know. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is, whatever. They just, every week. Only thing about Pittsburgh now that's a little bit concerning is they're putting an offense together. Pittsburgh usually wins games like 18-10. And now you're noticing that the Steelers with Russell Wilson, they're putting up points. In back-to-back weeks, or in back-to-back weeks, rather. 32, 37, and 26 for Pittsburgh. It's a little uncharacteristic for them. So they're starting to get to be a bit more of a threat. But that's the AFC right now, where it's just a lot of mediocre, and then you got the staples at the top. Chiefs, by the way, we're down to a minute and a half in the third quarter. It's second down, and they are within striking distance. The NFC, though. God, the Commanders are a half game behind the Lions. How crazy is that? The Eagles tried to piss it away yesterday against the Jaguars, but they've been playing exceptionally well. Ever since the bye, it looks like Philly's turned it on. A Lions-Eagles NFC Championship wouldn't stun me. I love Washington. Been loving watching Jaden Daniels, but I just don't see them going to the NFC Championship his rookie year. I don't know. Something about Minnesota the last couple of weeks. I'm just losing trust in them. Sam Darnold played terrible last night. They won the game, but he still had 2 picks. I'm losing trust in Minnesota's ability to make the NFC Championship. I don't know. I just feel like it's more clear in the NFC. Like there seems to be 2 teams to me right now that have separated. Well, really one team is separated. Like to me, the Lions are just they're a head and shoulder above just about everybody else in the NFC. I mean, you could have argued Green Bay yesterday, but they beat Green Bay pretty handily yesterday. And that was a huge win. I know Jordan Love is banged up, but that was a huge win for Detroit because not only was it a divisional win, but it was in Green Bay and they beat him handily. And that was a game where I think a lot of people thought the tide could turn. Because if Green Bay would have won that game, they would have been 7-2. The Lions would have been 7-2. And then things started to get really interesting here. But they took care of business in a huge spot. So to me, the Lions are about a head length above everybody else in this NFC. If I had to put money on it right now, I would do a Lions, Eagles, NFC Championship. And I don't know. I like the Eagles and I like the Lions in that spot. But to me, when I'm looking at these two conferences, it just seems like it's more definitive. I feel like the Lions are far better than anyone else in the NFC. I look at the AFC, like I don't know. You want to say Baltimore, but then there's 2 weeks where they play the Raiders and the Browns, and you're just like, what the hell? I can't definitively say that they're gonna be far and away better than everybody else by the end of it. They've shown on any given week they can be, but unlike the Chiefs or the Bills, they've also shown that, oh my God, we can lose to some of the bottom feeders in the league out of nowhere. Yeah, the Chiefs are undefeated, but they are not stylistically playing undefeated type ball. I just don't. The last time these Chiefs lost was almost a calendar year ago. Last time they lost was Christmas Day, that game I mentioned earlier where I was officially out on the Chiefs. That was the last time they lost. Christmas Day against the Raiders. You have it's more of a dogfight up at the top to me in the AFC. Because I just don't see how the Commanders are finishing at the one spot. I don't trust Minnesota to finish at the one spot. I think it could come down to the Eagles and the Lions. Same thing with the Falcons here. Like, do I trust Kirk Cousins to get him to the one spot? No. It's crazy though, man. There's 3 2-win teams in the NFC. There's 6 2-win teams in the AFC. The AFC is bad this year. Middle of the pack down, the AFC is bad this year. Richie saying embrace it. Last time we started 7-2 AFC chip. You are damn right, Richie. 2020. It's time for the best start in McDermott's career. And don't you forget last year at this same time, the Bills were 5-4. So I like your thinking. All right. Let's really dial in here as we enter into the fourth quarter on this Bucs-Chiefs game. 15 minutes remaining. Fourth quarter just started. 2nd and goal. Pitch from Mahomes to Kelce on that BS play that they always run. Little underneath shovel. Got stuffed at the line. Maybe a yard or 2 gain. It's now 3rd and goal. I would imagine it's 4-down territory for the Chiefs. It is raining heavy in Kansas City as they trail by a touchdown. All right, that was a little bit more of a gain than I thought. Maybe a 3-yard gain from Kelce. He kind of stumbled forward there. Okay. 3rd and goal. Ball is at the 7-yard line. Depending on what they do here, I could see it being 4-down territory. I don't know if they'll do it from the 7, but we'll see what happens here. Here's the snap. Mahomes has time. He's under pressure now. Rolls out to the right. Something's got to give. Oh. Oh, no. Mahomes is hurt. Mahomes rolls his ankle on this one. He verbalized he's fine. He does not look fine. That was an unbelievable play. Oh, my God, what a play. So Mahomes rolls to the right. Defender comes up. Oh, that's a non-contact injury on Mahomes. They just replayed it. Ooh. Ooh, his whole body kind of gave out on that. Watch this again if you're watching. Oh, no. Oh, that's his left leg, non-contact. His whole body jolts. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Mahomes cannot walk on his own power. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, it was non-contact. He can't walk on his own power, folks. You know what that is 90% of the time. And Carson Wentz starts to get his arm loosened. Oh, my God. I don't want to see anything in the chat right now. Do not do what I'm not even going to bring up you not doing. Please don't do that. All right, he's walking. He's walking without help now. He's walking without no help now. He's taking the helmet off. He's going and sitting on the sideline to get evaluated here. I mean, if you go watch that replay, though, his whole body on a non-contact, you see it like jolts like this because of the left leg. Let's see if Thigh Doc is already on this. Somebody's got to be on this already. All right. So I have the play here. Let's slow it down. So watch. What do you see how his body kind of does like almost like a dry heave, right? Right there. Boom, right there. You can watch his left leg and his body goes, ooh. I'll play it in full speed so you can probably get a better idea. Oh shit. God. Oh, now I'm out for the week with a blown eardrum. Oh my God. Ugh. You see that? You see that? It's almost like you ever like run around the house with a bunch of kids and you step on a Lego? That's what that looks like. Where it's like, oh. Oh. And he immediately after that, he goes to the right leg and starts hopping. What an unbelievable play, though. Oh man. All right, so he walked off on his own power after being helped off. We'll see what happens. But you know how these non-contacts go. Something about the damn non-contact. Here's a better angle of it.
To you.
Yeah, his whole body kind of like convulsed.
To you.
Jeez, would it stop doing that for God's sakes? Look, watch his neck. Oh, now he's on the sidelines completely fine. I'm stunned. So the broadcast is back on. He's up. He's smiling with Andy Reid. He's walking. I'm shocked. I mean, folks, if you're like me, when that first happened, he had to have two guys help him off the field. Now he's kind of walking around. All right, looks like he's good. You never want to see that, man. That's just. All right, he's running around the sideline. Looks like he'll be fine. I wonder if he goes in next series or if it is Carson Wentz. Wentz looks like he's the happiest guy on the sideline right now because he's like, all right, I don't have to go in. But we know that Mahomes has dealt with some ankle injuries in the past. It's constantly always been an issue of concern for his, or an area of concern. But it looks like he's going to be all right. Man, that's great because that looked bad. That looked bad. Oh my God. Yeah, he looks fine. Hold on, Lisa Salters is talking. I missed it. It can't be much, though. I mean, what could she have found out within 30 seconds? All right, well, with that out of the way, Bucks ball, 13:40 left, 2nd and 7. Man, it's raining out there heavy. Ball off the hands of, I think, was it Otten over the middle? Incompletion. So, yeah, they're showing on the broadcast now. Like, you'll see, it's always something with the leg with Mahomes. And last week there was another issue with the leg against the Raiders. Always seems to be that lower body for him. It's just those non-contact that you see that you're always like, oh, those always seem to be the worst. All right, 3rd and 7. Baker's back to pass, has to move, gets out of the pocket. Going to be about a yard short. Richie's saying they're 7-0. Why risk putting them back in? Well, because 7-0 can turn into, 8-3 real quick if he's probably not in there. And we were just talking about it. It's a battle up at the top right now. You start dropping a couple games and it gets rough quick. All right, so looks like he's going back in the game. Let's see how it affects him, if any. All right, there's a commercial. I am going to run to the bathroom real quick. Don't go anywhere. We are watching the end of this. We got a tie ball game between the Chiefs and the Bucks. I didn't think we'd be here, and we're here, and this is why I wanted to do this, and it's actually happening. So we're going to enjoy it. I'll be back in less than a minute. It feels like all these games are mapped out for it to go this way for them, where it's not great for like 3/4 of it or the majority of it. But then they find themselves in these moments, and then this is where they turn it on, right? This is where they turn it on. Richie's asking if I'm coming to Buffalo for a game. Yes. Thanksgiving weekend, December 1st. Sunday night football. Bills, Niners. I will be there. Let me know if you guys are going. All right, here comes 15. Walking onto the field. Let's see what's up. 17 all. 12 and a half left. Has he ever explained what this thing is, Mahomes? Has he ever explained what this thing is? I don't think I've ever seen an explanation. He does it every single snap. I always thought at first it was like a come here thing to somebody, like, come here, I got to talk to you. I don't think that's what it is. I think it's just like a thing. The inevitable statue that he gets built outside of Arrowhead for of himself should be like that. Like, if you think of him, you can't not think of that. That replay on that Hopkins catch, man, that was an unreal play. We haven't heard much of him since then, though. He had that play, he had the touchdown. You haven't heard a whole lot since. All right, 3rd and 2. Ball on the KC 30. Gun, plenty of time. Oh. Man, Kelce, what is that? His 12th catch tonight? He just always finds the creases, Kelce. I know it's not what it used to be, but it's still. Just always finds the open patch, man. He's just standing there. He's just standing there. The guy is the most wide open guy in the history of the league. I've never seen anything like it. 11 catches tonight on 12 targets. I've never seen another guy get as open as he does. They're starting to run the ball pretty decently now. What I like about the Chiefs offense is even though it's not like as prolific as it used to be, not even close, they do often put themselves in favorable third down situations like you're seeing now. This is back-to-back series or back-to-back set of downs where, you know, it's a short pass here, it's a handoff here, then it's 3rd and 2, then it's 3rd and 1. And it just allows you to continuously move the ball down the field. I mean, you look at Mahomes' numbers there tonight, 9-9 for 109 yards and 2 touchdowns with 8 first downs total on 3rd down. All right, looks like, did they stop him up there? All right. All right, so the Bucs D got the best of him up front there. It was a fullback dive. Looks like he gained about a half a yard, and they're going to be a half yard short. Decision time for Andy Reid. I got a feeling it's going to be an easy one. 4th and 1 at the KC 47. Yeah, Ari Ellis saying, am I not watching the exact same Chiefs game I watched since week 1? I'm telling you, every one of them is the same. It's the same game. Every one of them. All right, 4th down, handoff. Got it with ease. If I had to make like a bold proclamation here, they go down and score. I don't know if it's going to matter, touchdown or field goal. They go down and score, and then Baker's going to throw a pick. That's my bold prediction. Kareem Hunt's got 18 carries tonight. Screen pass. Worked with ease. Instant first down. Now they're in Bucs territory. .39-yard line of the Bucs. 1st and 10. Less than 8 left. The hell was that? God, it is pouring there. Pouring. This is what I just can't stand. It's a false start, and they're talking about it for 30 seconds. Ah. And of course it goes on the Bucs. Of course. Yeah, I mean, it was on the Bucs. It was on the Bucs. Why does it take 30 seconds to talk about it, though? Why do you gotta sit and have tea over it? Only 7 penalties tonight, though. That's amazing. 2, of course, are only on the Chiefs. Only 2. 2 penalties total on the Chiefs tonight. Richie's saying, huge favorite. Check your tweets. Let me know your thoughts. Check it out. Ooh, Richie. Richie's showing off. Richie's saying, show this to the live stream if you want. Custom built. Richie, that is sick. Richie, that's killer. I love that. Custom bar table / pong table. You got the Zubas styled little triangles on the end there for the shot glasses. I love that, Richie. Well done. Well done, my friend. I got to get myself one of those. I love that. Killer, dude. Now I got to ask you though, if we win the Super Bowl, I'm going to need you to jump through that thing. I'm going to need you to jump through that thing if we win the bowl. Love that though. Love the lights on it. All right, 3rd and 5 for the Chiefs. Toss, catch, first down. Man, the middle of the field. Have you ever seen a team get the middle of the field as open as the Kansas City Chiefs do? I've never seen it before. No other team finds a way to open up the middle of the field like these Chiefs. Look at this. Look at that. I mean, it could not be more open. Doesn't matter if it's Kelce. It doesn't matter who it is. And this Watson dude's phenomenal. I mean, he would probably start on another team at tight end. Just wide open, the middle of the field, wide open. Oh, my God. Yeah, they're cooking with gas now. Another run right up the middle for 12 yards. Down to 6 minutes left. 1st and goal, Chiefs. Shit. I mean, just a classic halfback dive up the middle. They're running the hell out of Kareem Hunt, though. 20 carries for 91 yards. 21 carries. They're just kind of like they're just taking away their will right now. Richie's saying, drilled each hole and hand painted. I can def make you one, but I'm curious what shipping would be. Oh my God. Yeah, I'd probably be better off buying one and making one myself than having to pay for the shipping, Richie. I can only imagine what that would cost. 50 to 60 pounds. Ooh, that thing's got some durability to it. But good work, man. Great work on you. Custom made, right? Drilled each hole. Nice stuff. I love it, dude. It turned out great. All right, 2nd and goal. Ball on the 4. Wow, there's a stat that just popped up. I can't believe it. Patrick Mahomes has never thrown a pass TD in the 4th quarter of a tie game, regular season or playoffs. Would you have guessed that? Wow, this drive, 8:15 and counting. This is what I mean. All game long, they don't do much of anything. They only have 17 points, right? But then all of a sudden, here it is. 8-minute drive, throw, catch on. Oh my. DeAndre Hopkins, touchdown. Likely to be the game-winning touchdown. Hey, tuners. $15 plays, 78 yards, 8.5 minutes. D-Hop caps it off. D-Hop, man. D-Hop. Thanks a lot, Titans. Thanks a lot, Tennessee. Appreciate you. Ariella's she's blaming you, by the way. Blame's on you, Richie, for putting the cart before the horse, guaranteeing the Chiefs' loss. Yep, Bartek. The inevitability of the Chiefs remains. And I knew it was inevitable, but man, in the moment, man, you just want to pretend like it isn't. But like I said earlier, it's the same thing every time. It's just that they don't, like I said, all game long, not much going on. A couple of decent plays here and there, but nothing crazy. Offensively, just a fine day. Nothing spectacular like we're used to with them. Just average offense. 17 points. 3/4 of the way through the fourth quarter. But then when it matters most, when the moment matters most, Mahomes off of what looked like a major injury, nope, not, walks right back on the field, the first drive back from that ankle injury, goes 80 yards in 15 plays, kills 8.5 minutes off the clock, and they score a touchdown. And that'll be the game-winning touchdown. And the Baker Mayfield interception, it is loading. It is loading. And like, yeah, Grimm's saying, right after Joe Buck says Mahomes has never thrown a TD pass when tied in the fourth. Yep, exactly. If you could have paused time, if you could have paused like all of time in that moment and gone and placed your entire life savings on the touchdown, it would have been the smartest thing you could have ever done. It was a guarantee. You got D-Hop in single coverage on the outside there. Single coverage. I mean, just so easy. Just so easy. A little stutter step right on the inside. He's wide open. I mean, he's wide open. The only guy out there worth a damn in terms of throwing the ball to outside of Kelce is single coverage, and he's just wide open. All right, Baker, what do you got? You got 4 minutes and 17 seconds with 3 timeouts in a whipping rainstorm in Kansas City without Mike Evans, without Chris Godwin. You're down by a touchdown. Who do you want to be? You want to be somebody? What do you want to be? The other thing, too, I could only imagine the spread was 9 in this game, so I could also imagine the Bucs like going 3 and out, the Chiefs getting the ball back, then kicking a field goal and covering the spread. I could see that, too. Just something along those lines. The Baker pick or the Chiefs covering something. Bucs handoff, 1 yard gain. Terry's saying Tampa's going to score and get the 2-point conversion. Boy, that would make my night. And Todd Bowles, he would be the type of guy I feel like to go for the 2. Look at that stat they just brought up. KC has ran 67 plays to Tampa Bay's 40. Second and 8, Baker in the gun. Looking to pass, sacked. This will probably be where the pick happens. Because it's now 3rd and 47. Untouched. Third and 16 on their own 27. Or whatever it is, 24. Baker drops back, throws up. Thought that was going to be the pick. Incomplete instead. And just like that, it's a 3 and out. The Bucs take off, 10 seconds from the clock? And they have to punt. All 3 timeouts left, 2:49 remaining. Chiefs up by 7. And he had him. Baker had him. A little late on the throw, went right through his hands. I mean, you got to catch that, man. You got to catch that. This punt probably won't be great either because it's just terrible out. Either I could see the Chiefs getting this at like the 40. Yep. What did I say? Oh my God. Just a god awful punt. It lands at the 44. There's a flag too. So there's a holding on KC. So I guess a dash of luck for the Bucs. It goes from the 44 and out of the 34. Ariola saying most predictable game ever. Yep. No doubt. God, they're showing some Chiefs fans. They're already leaving the stadium. And they know what's up. What do you guys' thoughts on this Peyton Manning commercial? Peyton. I kind of love it. It's genius. All right. Look at that. 34 minutes of time of possession and counting. All right. Run for the Chiefs. 1 yard gain. I'm guessing timeout here, Bucks. Richie's saying Chiefs can only pull this for so long. Real talk. I know. That's what I was saying, Richie. They haven't lost since last Christmas. That's the thing. Like, that's the mindset I had. Because they were doing the same crap last year, including that loss on Christmas Day to the Bucks. They never lost again, including road trips to Baltimore and Buffalo in the playoffs and knocking off the Niners in the Super Bowl. Imagine the Chiefs go 16-1. Their only losses to the Bills in week 11, then they lose to the Bills again in the playoffs. Only 2 losses in over a calendar year, both to the Bills. Where do I sign? 2nd and 9. 2.5 left. Bucks down to their final 2 timeouts. Mahomes, handoff. Stopped at the line. Timeout. 2:29 left. It'll be 3rd and probably 12. We'll see if Andy Reid wants to make him burn another timeout here or throw it. I'd probably throw it here just because you still have the 2-minute warning. Mahomes fell again on that ankle there. While we're in break, quick reminder, by the way, I'm loving these lines for week 10 over on BetUS. Right now, the Bills, 4-point favorite. Actually, wait 1 second. We'll get back to this in a second. I thought they were taking their time on this timeout, but they're not. 3rd and 11. 3rd and 11. Mahomes in the gun. 2:29 left. Bucks down to 1 timeout. Mahomes throws. Dropped. All right, that's the best possible case scenario there. The Chiefs don't convert. They drop the ball, and there's 2:24 left. So the Bucks are on the right side of the 2-minute warning, and they have a timeout left. That was as good of a outcome as the Bucks could have had right there. There is limited life, but life nonetheless for Baker Mayfield and company with the final 2.5 remaining here. Here comes the punt. See if they can do something on this punt return. Try to give themselves some decent field position. All right. Punts fielded at the 20. Get up. All right. Bucks ball at their own 30 with 2:16 left. You see on your screen right now that the state of the AFC West, Chiefs 7-0. They have the Broncos this upcoming week. So they'll further their lead in the division there. Chargers in second place. They've already beaten the Chargers once, I believe. All right, Bake. Is this where the pick happens, or are you going to prove me wrong? Please prove me wrong. Baker, shotgun, snap. Throw because he was about to get sacked. He throws it on the outside to Bucky Irving. All right. Oh, that's definitely a holding. That's definitely a hold. This Bucs O-line just can't contain the Chiefs. Feels like every penalty that's been called on him, every penalty that's been called on him tonight has been a hold. Oh, it's definitely a holding, man. 1st and 20. Snap. Baker looks downfield, throws, caught. All right. Okay. They got about 15 of that back. Okay. And that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. The Palmer for the Bucs is talking a whole lot of crap. Come on, settle down. Settle down. We got a long ways to go here. As I was saying a minute ago, over on BetUS, the lines are up for week 10. Loving the Bills -4. Loving it. I could see that moving, by the way. I could see money coming in on the Bills, so I'm loving that -4. I might want to get in on that before it does move. I'm also really liking the Lions -3 against the Texans. Just think that's a solid number to get Detroit at. I think that Houston defense can be scored on. And the way that Detroit's putting up points, Jared Goff playing maybe the most efficient quarterback in the league right now. Loving those two lines. You can get in on it as well. Promo code is YouTube150 over on BetUS. That'll get you a 150% sign-up bonus up to $2,000 on your first deposit and 125% bonus on your next two after that. Laura's saying it's staying exciting. Yeah, I mean, this is more than I think I would have anticipated. This is definitely more than I would have thought. But then again, though, like I keep saying, this is Chiefs football. They don't blow anybody out. Yeah, they'll have their games where they beat the Raiders or the Chargers by 14, but they don't have games like the Bills have against the Jags or the Bills have against the Dolphins. They just really don't do that often. This is how they win. This is how they play. And they're just so damn good at it. Like those type of games yesterday we talked about with the Bills where it's just like, you got to find a way to win, regardless of not playing well here or there, overcoming mistakes. Like they just do it. They just do it every time. They've become like addicted to it. Hillslayer is saying it's a smart way to win if you think about it. I agree. It's probably the best way to win. You never get too high. You never get too low. It feels like that they never have to show their full hand. That's why Reed always has a play or two in the playoffs that no one's seen before that always seems to work, right? And it's playoff football week in and week out. These are how playoff games go. It's not often you're just rolling teams in the playoffs. These are how elimination style games go. I agree with you. Like they overpower you every time in the most critical moments. And that's exactly what the playoffs are. And they do it week in and week out during the regular season. All right, 2 minutes left. We're down to the witching hour when Scott Van Pelt's on the sideline. Okay, Baker, what do you got? 2nd and 6. Ball is snapped. He's looking. He's going to go deep. He's got a man. It is caught. Let's go. Let's go, Bake. Let's go, Bake. Let's go. That puts him in Chiefs territory. Clock's still ticking, though. Clock's still ticking. The Bucs are holding on to their final timeout. Clock is rolling. It didn't get out of bounds. No huddle. We're down to 140. Ball is snapped. Mahomes under pressure. Avoids the sack. Gets rid of it. Overthrown out of bounds. .134, second and 10. Ball on the Chiefs' 49. We got over 1,100 in here, close to 1,200, pulling for the Bake Show. Can he pull it off for the gang? Second and 10. Snap. Throw. Caught. Let's go. Right at the first down marker. Let's watch this on the replay. It was like that Pickens catch of the day where he gets both feet in. He taps the left foot twice. I don't think they're not gonna challenge it. Are they gonna challenge it? They're gonna challenge it. I think they might win this challenge. I think that knee might have been out before the right foot got down. What are you guys thinking at home? So here's the catch. Catch. Left foot down. Left foot down again. I think that right foot taps just before the knee. What do you guys think? I think that right foot taps just before the knee. Definitely. Is it definitely? It's just like that Pickens catch. I think that right foot is a millisecond in before the left knee. Watch that right foot, then watch the knee. Definitely a catch. Definitely a catch. Let's go. Definitely a catch. My bad, Richie. It wasn't a coach's challenge. It was an official review. No coach's challenge under 2 minutes. What are we going to do here? We're going to run it. They only got one timeout left. Buck 28. This will put them at what? The 30-something? Third and 1. All right, Eric B saying, give me some commentary. I can't watch the game. Here's the deal right now, Eric B. Chiefs are up 24-17. Bucks have the ball on the Chiefs 41. It's 3rd and 1. Baker's in the shotgun. They have one timeout left. They run the ball with Bucky Irvin. They get it. Bucky Irvin's on the move. He's down to the 30-yard line as the clock continues to run. Buccaneers are now on the 31-yard line of the Chiefs with a $1:20 and counting. Still holding on to that one timeout. Bucks going no huddle. 1:12 and counting. Here's the snap. Shotgun. Bake. Throws. Caught. Inbounds. Shepard is rolling on this drive. We're going down to a minute now. We're heading down to a minute here. Buccaneers are at the 24-yard line of the Chiefs. Here's the snap. 50 seconds. Baker surveys. He's looking around. He's got to move. He rolls to the left side of the field. He's running towards the first down line. He's got it. First down, and he's out of bounds. Hell of an effort by Baker. Let's go. First down, Bucks. 44 seconds left. Clock stops. They're down by 7. They're right around the red zone. Mike Hartle saying if you score, go for 2. I couldn't agree more. Anyone with a brain knows we are not taking Mahomes to overtime. I completely agree. They got to score first, though. They got to score first. Ball is smack dab at the 20-yard line. 44 seconds left. The clock is stopped. Down by 7. Baker in the shotgun. Here's the snap. Baker's looking. He's under pressure. Releases. He's got a man wide open. He's going. 1 yard line. Let's go. The Buccaneers are down to the 1 yard line with 35 seconds left and counting. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Timeout? What do you mean timeout? No, Baker, you don't call a timeout right there. No, you don't call a timeout right there. You don't call a timeout with 30 seconds left. They're down to the 1 right there. I mean, I'm stoked right now, but I don't know. Timeout right there? I mean, I guess I get it, but if they score this next play, the Chiefs have all 3 timeouts, and there's 30 seconds left. 33. They just put 3 seconds back on the clock. I don't know. I think I would have let the clock go a little bit longer. But regardless, they're on the doorstep. They're on the doorstep. They are inside of the 1 yard line. I hate being in the gun here, but they are in the gun. 33 seconds left. No timeouts remaining for the Bucs. They're in the gun. Here's the snap, the handoff, the fake. Oh, I loved the play call. Didn't love the execution. Play action. Baker rolls to the right. He throws it to my man Aten, who has been on fire tonight. Pass was at his feet. It's one you got to have. It was not a great throw, but it was in his hands. You got to catch it. Ball's got to be a bit more up in the air. That was an easy throw for Baker. 30 seconds left. Baker's going to go under center here. We're anticipating a run. Box is loaded up for Kansas City. Baker under center. Fakes the handoff again. Play action. Throws. Let's go. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Todd Bowles, what are you going to do? Todd Bowles, what are you going to do? Oh, they're running off. They're running off the offense. He's going to tie the ball game. Oh, he's running the offense off. Play action, touchdown. Baker to Miller. Easy as can be. And they're going to settle for the field. They're going to settle for the extra point. There is 27 seconds left, and the Chiefs have 20 or all 3 timeouts. Here's the snap, the hold, the kick is up for the tie, and it's good. 24 all, 24 apiece. 27 seconds left. What a ball game, folks. So glad we decided to do a smoke break watch party. So glad we decided to do it. What a ball game. What a Monday night ball game. I got to text my buddy, my big Bucks buddy Rez. I got to see what his thoughts were on not going for 2 there. I don't know. I feel like you leave them 30 seconds with 3 timeouts. I feel like there's a couple things I would have done differently there. I wouldn't have called that timeout with 33 seconds left. If you knew you were going to throw it, which they did, they threw it 2 times at the 1 yard line. If you knew you were going to throw it, that gives you the chance to throw it away. If you run the ball, you don't risk. If you're running the ball, you risk milking the clock. They didn't even run the ball. So I would have not taken the timeout. I would have taken the clock down to probably 20 seconds. Then I would have ran a couple of plays. I mean, the Chiefs have all 3 timeouts. I wouldn't kick it out of bounds here. I would kick this in play. Let's see where the kickoff goes. All right, they kicked it out of bounds. I would have kicked that in play there as well. Now they get the ball. They're giving them the ball at the 30. And for Bucker, what do you need here? What do you need? 30 yards? And they got 3 timeouts. I don't know. A couple of things I would have done differently there. I wouldn't have called that timeout with 30 seconds left. I would have gone for 2. I just would have. You go to overtime in this game, and you know it's stacked against you, especially if the Chiefs win, but win the toss. But whatever. Here we go. 27 seconds remain. 27 seconds. Mahomes empty back out of the gun, takes it, throws over to the right side, caught, stays in bounds, and gets down to the 39-yard line of the Chiefs. 18 seconds left. They're going to burn their first timeout. So I texted my buddy there about my buddy Rez, who's a big Bucs fan. I texted him about it. He said he's not mad about the not going for 2, but he is pissed about the timeout at the 30-second mark. I don't blame him. I don't understand why he did that. It's almost like Baker panicked. He immediately called the timeout. So they put a second back on the clock. Ball's at the KC 19 or 39. There's 19 seconds left. It's 24 all. It's 2nd and 1. Here's the snap. Mahomes looks, doesn't have anybody, throws all and hit the ground. He had Kelce in the middle. That would have been massive. If they would have completed that pass, they would have been set up. It was either, I got to see it again. Great defense. Terrific defense by Tampa Bay to tip that ball. It was going right in the direction of Kelce's hands, got tipped. So now they're down to 12 seconds. Richie's saying these teams never learn with the prevent. They're not really running prevent right now. Look at the Bucs right now. They're not running prevent. I'm liking what they're doing. They got 2 guys back, and they got the middle of the field loaded up. They're rushing 4 still. Oh, my God. Mahomes almost just threw a pick, and that's it. Now it's 4th and 1. They're going to just punt it away. Wow. Uncharacteristic of the Chiefs right there. A couple of things right there that was miscommunication. Big time miscommunication from DeAndre Hopkins and Patrick Mahomes there. D-Hop never turned around. That should have been picked off by Antoine Winfield. And the Chiefs are going to punt this ball away. And it's looking like we're going to be heading to overtime. 13 seconds remain. I'm shocked the Chiefs didn't even get a first down on that. Stunned. 7 seconds as the ball lands. Ticks. 4, 3, 2, 1. They're just going to let the clock roll out. That'll expire the regulation, and we got overtime football, folks, on the smoke break. We got overtime ball on the smoke break on the Buffalo Fanatics YouTube channel. How about it? Come on, Bake. So the Buccaneers, they're the visiting team. They get to decide the coin. Will Baker go with heads or tails? Let's see. Oh, I wish they would have went for 2 so bad. All right, I'm going to turn the volume up so I can see who wins this toss. Tails is the call from Baker. Here's the flip. The land. It is heads. And that, folks, is why you go for 2. You know tails never fails, Bake. Damn it. Damn it. I just feel like that's why you go for 2. It just the black magic of the Chiefs. They're always going to win the toss, and then here they go. JS Sir saying it's silly to go for 2 there. I don't think so. Would you rather have a chance to win the game at the 3-yard line? Or would you rather the game be put up to fate of a coin toss that can allow Mahomes to go down and win it himself? I mean, I don't know. I like my chances so much better at the goal line. It's all circumstantial. Maybe against another team, I'm taking it to overtime, but let's see. Let's see what the Bucs defense has got. Let's go. Here we go. Here's the kickoff. What a ball game. All right, here comes Mahomes. Oh my God, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 in overtime. Chiefs ball. Play action. Mahomes looks, throws, got his man. And instantly a 10-yard gain. The real saying, why are you nervous, bro? Man, I want the Chiefs to lose. Simple as that. I every week it's Bills win and whoever plays the Chiefs. Whoever plays the Jets, Dolphins, and Chiefs. Sign me up. Handoff. 4-yard gain on 1st and 10. Second and 5. Play action out of the gun. Mahomes rolls to the right. Little flip to Kelce. Jesus. The little flips piss me off so much. God, they piss me off. They work every time. Kelce's got what, 13 catches tonight? 12 catches on 14 targets, 81 yards. All right, 1st and 10. They're near in Bucs territory, if not already in it. I think they might already be in it. Yep. 1st and 10 at the Bucs 47. Handoff. The O-line's just got that physical factor right now over the Bucs D front. 4 yards. There's no way in hell they don't score a touchdown here. I just cannot for the life of me envision it. I can't. Can you? All right. 2nd and 6. Snap, throw, D-hop, and D-hop. There he goes. There he goes. Already well within field goal range. I mean, it's just everything's just so easy. It's just so easy. The biggest moments, man, it's just everything just easy, easy, easy. They've barely done anything. They've handed off a couple times and ran a couple dump offs, and it's just look at them. They're already down on the 25. D-Hop has 8 catches, 86 yards, and 2 touchdowns tonight. There's Mahomes on a scramble. Gains 3 and slides. They're already nearing the 20-yard line. Man. That two-point attempt looks awfully good right now, doesn't it? Well, you can only pray to hold him to a field goal attempt. All right, Mahomes, gun, play action, caught. Kelce down to the 10-yard line. This game's over. Kelce's got 13 catches. 13 catches. Nearly 100 yards. They haven't come close to stopping him once on a single play this entire drive. And everybody's just wide. It's just wide open. Everything's wide open. All right. 10-yard line. Career high, by the way, tonight for Kelce and catches. Career high. 13 catches. Here's the handoff. Oh, my God. They had him stuffed at the line, and he gains 5 yards. God, they had him dead to rights at the line. He falls forward for 5. Somebody will be wide open in the back of the end zone, either this play or the next. 2nd and 5. Chiefs call a timeout. Just delaying the inevitable here, folks. Richie's saying there's zero excuse for 35-year-old Travis Kelce to be this wide open. I know. It's crazy. It's just I've never seen anyone get open quite like he does. 13 catches tonight. Career high. What is he in his 15th year? Career high tonight. All right, here it is. 2nd and 5, empty backfield. Ball at the 7-yard line. Mahomes pass, throws, caught. Kelce down to the 2-yard line. I don't think he got the first, but what does it matter? 14 catches. 14 catches. How do you allow this man to have 14 catches? All right, 3rd and an inch. They can still get a first down. They're at the 2-yard line. Here's a handoff. Touchdown. Game over. And that's why you go for 2. That's why you go for 2. I know hindsight's 2020, but that's why you go for 2. You'd rather go and play a full other quarter against Mahomes, who is seasoned a vet in this situation, who is as successful a quarterback in this situation as anyone has ever been, and you'd rather take this game to overtime than allow yourself an opportunity to win it on the goal line. When you're already down there, you're 4-4. No one thought you were a 9-point underdog in this game. No one thought you'd have an opportunity to go and win the game, and you did. And you take it to overtime. You know, you get what you deserve. Honestly, you get what you deserve. You get what you deserve. I think that it was absolutely foolish as hell taking that game to overtime, because you knew you had a 50-50 chance to win the toss. You had a 50-50 chance. And you're leaving the game up to a 50-50 chance when you had the highest potential chance of scoring the game-winning point on a 2-point conversion. I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. I just don't get it. You get it, whatever. You get it, you win. You don't get it, you live with it. But you go to overtime knowing that if they get the ball, they're going to win it. They are going to win it. There a false start by Juwan Taylor. I don't even know when that was. Man, what a bummer. What a bummer, man. The Bucs had them. They at least had the chance to do it. And when you go to overtime, you don't even have the chance. If you lose the toss, you don't even have the chance. You completely leave this game up to a coin. Foolish, in my opinion. Just utterly foolish. I understand it's a risk, but you can't convince me that it's not a bigger risk taking this game to overtime and leaving it up to a toss. It's not like you're playing the Chiefs. Not like you're playing anybody else. This goes their way every time. And it goes their way again tonight. There it is, folks. 3 hours in the books. Before we wrap up shop, one more quick reminder over on BetUS. The line, the Week 10 lines are up. Bills currently a 4-point favorite right now on BetUS. I'm loving that line. Also loving the Lions -3 against the Texans on Sunday Night Football this upcoming weekend in Week 10, but really loving the Bills -4 against the Colts. We'll talk more about that game later on in the week, of course. Rico will be with you on Wednesday night. Him and I will join you later in the week for the Rico and Bot Show. Then we'll, of course, be back with you over the weekend for Bills, Colts, and all that good stuff. Man, I'm bummed about this one, but hey, thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight. I had a ball. We had over 1,300 of you in here tonight. We went over 3 hours. Watched a great Monday Night Football game that did not go in our favor, but what are you going to do? Hopefully a lesson learned here. Go for two in that moment. I don't know what else to say. Bummer. Chiefs win at 30-27 or 30-24 in overtime. They improved to 8-0, and it's looking like they will be undefeated against the Buffalo Bills in a couple of weeks from here as the Bills take on the Chiefs in Week 11 in Buffalo. Looks like they will have a goose egg in their loss column up until then. Chiefs take on the Broncos next week. Bills take on the Colts. We'll see what happens, but man, tough one. Tough one tonight. Could have had the 1 seed on the line in Buffalo if the Bucs do a couple things differently, but that is how it goes against the Chiefs, doesn't it? Unreal. Well, hey, thanks so much for tuning in tonight. Had a blast. Hope you did as well. I'll see you later on in the week. Much love as always, folks. And go Bills.